Hi, Peaches. Can we hear? Are we live? Are we doing all the good things? Have I set this up right? Let me know. Hello, hello. How are we doing? Happy Monday. Hi, Q. Hey. Tastico, what a gorgeous, gorgeous name. We live. Hey, Bungie. Hey, Laura. Hey, fam. Hey, Artsy. Hi, Skylar. Um, Hi, Unveils. If anyone's like, what is happening? Who is Shaaba talking to? I cannot see these names in chat. Please be aware. So I normally I live stream over on Twitch and I make videos over on YouTube. So when I was trying to set this live stream up on YouTube, it wouldn't let me do it without also going live on Twitch. So I'm dual streaming right now across both, which means I have eyes on both chats. That also means I'm probably going to end up missing some chat messages. Please do feel free to resend them. I'm not intentionally ignoring people. I'm also having a bad ADHD day, so I'm just letting you know that the voice is not voicing very well. The words are not wording very well. It's a little bit LMNOP, if you know what I mean. Hi, Sea Salt. Hi, Twingo. Hi, Best Will. Are you feeling hot, hot, hot? I feel you. Actually, I have a question. The floofiness of your hair today is very fun. You were very sweet. Do you know what? I haven't washed it. That's what's happened. I haven't had time to wash my hair, and I was just like, she's messy. She's a hot mess today. So it's nice to know that that hasn't translated in the way that it has in my head. Thank you for the compliment. Hi, Alex, first time chatter. I see you. Hey, Nevi, catching a live over on Twitch. Just so you know, it's a different kind of live to what I normally do on Twitch. For anyone who's watching on YouTube and didn't know, I have a second channel and it's called Shaaba Games Badly, and we also have the Twitch channel, which is shaabaandjamie, where I play games and I do so badly, as the title suggests. So anyone who's coming onto Twitch for the first time, so grateful to see you. Welcome, welcome. This is a different kind of stream today. I figured I'd do this instead of a video. Basically, that's what's happening. Very hot indeed, and temperatures going up in the coming days. Is anybody here in the UK? Can we do? I always like to do two things when we're going live on a new platform. Bungie, we're streaking. We're streaking. Hello, hello, 7 stream streak. I see you. I also believe. Did I get a sub as well over on Twitch? I got 2. Nesta, ba-boom, thank you. And Unveils subbing with Prime, which means it's free for you, and still supports your favourite creators. So thank you so much. You are unbelievably sweet for doing that. For anybody else who didn't know, if you have Amazon Prime, which is very useful for posting items. I feel like most people think of Prime, when you think of Prime, that's what it is. And also Amazon Prime TV. Loads of people have Amazon Prime TV. You also have automatically Twitch Prime, and you can support your favourite creators. Definitely doesn't have to be me, like whoever you want. Your favourite creators over on Twitch for free every single month. That means that Bezos over there pays out of his pocket, and the money goes to supporting your favourite artists, no matter who they are, if they're on Twitch, with a free Twitch Prime sub. So, just so you know. Yes, time zone check. UK Melting Crew. I see you. Fantastico. Honestly, the blue of your name as well is making me feel cool, so thank you. Emily over here from the UK. Legend Tyler from the UK too. Caroline from Germany. Netherlands. What is this flag? This is Canada. Sorry, my geography is so bad, but I noticed this. I see this. In Canada, it's storming all week because it's so humid. So it seems like it's everywhere. In the UK, for those of you who don't know, it is also super stormy. Yeah, the thunder's been kind of scary recently. But we are having highs this week. This is our second heat wave of the summer. What do they say? Every summer is going to be the coolest summer for the rest of your life, which is kind of terrifying. Thank you, global warming. But our second heat wave has got highs of 39, which they say is going to feel like 41 this week, which is mad. I've never experienced that in the UK. It's like a historical record for the UK. It's 70 degrees here. Now, I know that's not Celsius because you'd die. So what is 7? No, wait, is it? No, no, hang on. I need to figure out what 70 Fahrenheit is in Celsius. And as we are talking about the weather, how very British of us all, 70 F in C, 21 degrees. I am jealous. I am jealous, Golly Marie. That sounds lovely. And everyone's like, hang on. Oh, you want to know what the numbers are in Fahrenheit? Of course, Cora. Sorry, 1 second. Let me let you know. So that's 40 C. Well, it's going to feel like 41 C in Fahrenheit. 105.8 Fahrenheit. That's what it's going to be in the UK. It's so crazy in the UK, fun zombies. And everyone says this, they're like, oh, you Brits, you complain about the weather so much when it's hot. You want it to be hot because it's raining all the time. And when it's hot, you can't deal with it being hot. It's because our infrastructure is not built for hot weathers. We have, like, all of our buildings, number one, do not have aircon at all. And secondly, they exist to retain heat. We have, like, brick buildings and everything's quite dark. It's not like in the Mediterranean where it, like, reflects sun. Everything in the UK is built to retain heat because we're normally a cold country with lots of rain. So, yeah, crying for the farmers, sending love and hugs to the farmers right now who are going to be really, really struggling. The British weather fluctuates so much more. It's fine. I'm not saying like we have it worse. I'm just saying I'm not used to this. And it's really interesting because the last time I experienced like 40-degree heat was when I was in Turkey on a holiday as a kid. And I remember just how like dark skin I went. I was like, holy crap. So I just can't believe, like, it's not computing in my brain that's actually going to happen here in the UK. And it's also on the day that I'm taking the tube. So that's going to be a lot of fun. 97 here and getting hotter every day. Holy moly. Pottery. I'm sorry. So, all of this to say, stay cool. And the point that I've been trying to make 4 times, but I'm so British, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. Keep going on about the weather. I have my aircon on. Like a little portable aircon unit. It's really loud. Can you hear it? Is it annoying? Because I can turn it off. It will be at the expense of my sanity. And I'm fine to do that if needs be, if you can't hear me and it's annoying. Jamie just dropped me a little text and he's like, you can hear it. I wouldn't normally make a video like this, but I think it's okay. So just checking in with you, Peaches. What do we think? You can't hear... Ethan, how are you? Hello. You also need to take public transport. Okay. So I was watching this on the news. I don't normally watch the news, but it was Father's Day yesterday, so I went to go and see my dad. And the news was on. And I was like, it's sad because that's what the news is. But they were talking about the weather and the map was like fluorescent red for the rest of this week, being like warning. And the guidance that we're having here in the UK, just in case you haven't heard it, I can hear it, but I also have a fan. Can hear it, but it's not bothering. Okay, really cool. Okay, if I tried to press a button, the buttons are just pictures, and I tried to like make it a quieter setting, it just ended up going louder. So I have a feeling it is the quietest version. So thank you. If it does start to annoy you, let me know, and then I can turn that off. I saw something about firefighters. Zap. What was that? Let me try and find your message above. We're also fighting a nearby wildfire, so this weather is not helping. Oh, bless you. Hugs and huge respect to the firefighters right now. Not annoying at all. Really glad to hear that. Cool. Ah, yes. Lots of appreciation. Okay. Yes. Don't give yourself heat stroke. So hydrate, queens. Hydrate. Peaches of all genders. Make sure you are hydrating. This isn't beer. These are the Budweiser cups that were given out at Pride years and years and years ago. So, yeah. Make sure you're drinking. Number 1. Number 2, the advice was block your windows. So lots of people don't think to do that, but curtains, drawer curtains, and if you can, they're saying like pop cardboard, like prep something up against it so that little slits of light, because it's just crazy how much heat that brings in. So do that. And the other advice that they were giving that I was just like, okay, was to sleep on the floor, because heat rises, and I think the idea is beds are raised high, so if you're struggling when you're sleeping, going lower to the floor would mean that you would be cooler. Doesn't necessarily seem the comfiest, but maybe it's more comfy than not being able to sleep because you're too hot. So do that. And blackout curtains, I recommend. Yes, bungee. Ventilation for sure. Yeah, and someone else has said, I don't know if this is myth, because I hear people do this and then I hear that it's not a good idea to do. Some people are saying pop like ice cubes or water in front of a fan and it kind of gives it like an aircon effect. and just make sure we're looking after the floofs as well, because they don't have little mouths to tell us. I actually don't know where the cats are. Papa! Brawny! Brawnstar, you want to come say hi? Bokiko! They might not be able to hear, actually, over the aircon, but we'll see if they grace us with their presence today. I like the floor. Yeah, if it works for you, it works for you. I like the floor when I'm doing, like, cozy blanket forts. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like the floor when I can put loads of cushions down and be under, like, a bunch of duvets and fluffy things, but that just doesn't feel right in the seat. I put up blackout curtains between my rooms and it keeps the halls cool. That's such a clever idea. That was also something else that we were talking about. The hallways are typically so much cooler because they're not on the outside of the building. So I know it sounds a little bit weird, but if you're feeling really warm, because it's going to be like for quite an extended period of time, consider moving like your little desk into the hall if there is space to do that, because that can work. Oh no, have we gone down on Twitch? Oh no, it says connecting chat. Oh, did I leave my own Twitch chat? I don't know what happened. Ethan, did you do as well? You completely No, you can have a baboom for yourself. Baboom. There you go. Pow. Which I feel these are like more valuable, right, than the kapluis. The kapluis for the bits. I don't know. I don't know if one's more valuable than the other. They're just different. But bless you. And thank you, Ethan. Ah, I see. Subbed for... No. 5.5 years. Shout out to Ethan. Ethan, Nesta, there's a whole bunch of peaches. We started streaming during lockdown. So if you like live vibes, if you enjoy gaming, if you enjoy just like chatting shit, because it's mostly what we do over on Twitch, then feel free to pop along. It's shaabaandjamie is the handle at shaabaandjamie. And yeah, it's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. I've been there. I can't believe I've been doing it for 5.5 years. My OG peaches remind me just how long it has been. Can you believe it's been this long since I... No, I can't. It has been a journey. It has been, and we really need to update these little stickery things, because my hair does not look like that anymore. Oh. Wow. Ventilation. Ventilation is important. How's Little Empress doing? Not leaving the room because the AC. I hear it. Okay, 2 more chats before we dive into going fishing today. Number 1, let's do a little pronoun check. It's Pride Month. Can we have some hearts? Can we have some pronouns? Can we have some cutes? You don't have to, just if you want to in chat, let us know who you are. Give us your little pride flags. I think I've been watching for 3 or 4 years. Wow. All of this just makes me feel like so old for being on the internet for this long. It's cool though, like it's not in a bad way. Speaking of old, it was my birthday recently. I say because I was just checking the little preview. And can you see this? I don't know if you can see. Don't ignore the J. That's my little my little High School Musical moment. I wear a J for Jamie. But can you see? I'm trying to be like the makeup influencer. Can you see my little gummy bear? She's a tiny little pink gummy bear. That was my gift, my birthday gift this year. From Jamie. I love it. And I also got this little charcuterie board that I built. my little mini brands. This is one that I was doing on stream. How cute did it turn out? Isn't that amazing? I'm so pleased. And we also made the little donuts. They're looking so... Oh god, I keep hitting you. They're looking so good now that they are dried. These aren't the exact ones I got for my birthday. I got some mini brands fridge edition items. I got some Pizza Hut boxes, tiny ones with all pizzas in it, and chicken wings, and some milk, and some other fun bits. And I got some other things too. I got... Where is it? I brought it here to show you. It's literally right in front of me. How dumb. Look at this. Okay, these are my shelves that I use for filming. By the way, I'm loving seeing the Pride in chat. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your gorgeous Pride beings. Over on Twitch, we made Pride mushrooms. Well, a gorgeous viewer made Pride mushrooms, and we made them into stickers. So I'm trying to find my own mushroom. Hang on. I found the buy hearts over on Twitch. Sending those through. Let's do that. And then where are my mushies? Where are my little mushies? There you go. I'll also send some trans ones. Smell our shit right there. Hey, every night fancy. What a gorgeous first time chat. I see you with your little pride mushies. And then over on YouTube, I don't know if I can do this, but let me try. Yeah. Did I post in chat? Did that work? Did that come through? Woo! Cute. Hello, fellow by Peach. Hello, everybody. Love to see it, love to see it. Yes, Nebula, we're also on Twitch. We are dual streaming right now. Sorry, I was saying this is my shelf where I put things that I like when we film. And I don't know if you can see my little... I'm going to use my little pointer fingery thingy. Can you see my little derpy right here from K-Pop Demon Hunters? On his tongue is a little post-it note, because you know it goes bleh, and that's where his letters are. And it says subscribe. And it's too tiny for anyone to see, but I know that it's there and it makes me really happy. And these guys have been a bit of a staple. My little marshmallows. And Jamie always... We got this one. And he said that this one's me because it's pink. And this one's him because he's white. And this one looks a little bit shorter than this one. That one looks like taller and skinnier. So he's like, oh my god, it's definitely us. So that's why we got them. But, oh my goodness. Jellycat have just brought out these new ones. And they look like this. It's so small. I love it so much. So Jamie got this for my birthday as well. It's the exact same two marshmallows, but with chocolate on the head and graham crackers. And they make me so happy. And I don't know what to do, because I don't know if I should replace those ones with this one, or maybe like interchange them sometimes. You might need to get pointed to. Do you know why we got this? It sounds so silly. When we play games, especially when we're streaming, we sit here and one day I'll turn this around and you can see the setup, but basically we've got like multiple screens, and this one here is where we game, and Jamie is so bad with navigation on gaming maps. So bad. So, especially when we play Silent Hill, I got myself this little pointer from online so I could be like, you go there, and there, and there. So I show it to him like that, as like where to go, and then he knows what to do. It's also fun little, I don't know if you find this fun, but I find it fun. A really good editing mechanism. Shout out to Maddie, our gorgeous editor, who I don't know. Stack them! Oh my god, that's such a good idea. Whoa. Calm down, pointer. How dare. I'll do that right now. I forgot what I was saying. I lost my bean. Shout out to Maddie, who is an incredible editor. And I'm a little bit nervous about doing like some podcast chats today because teamwork makes dream work. Maddie's absolutely amazing. I know she does it in my direction, but she's also like just such a fantastic editor and deserves so much wonderful credit. A lot of what you see, a lot of the like cute moments that happen, the gifts are like, I mostly like give guidance on like what to put in those kinds of places, but anything that is a troll, that comes from Maddie. Anything that's a little bit sassy, that like takes the mick out of what we do, that's Maddie, and I think she's absolutely beautiful for it. Yes, huge props to Maddie. Thank you for the birthday wishes as well, you're very kind. But yes, huge thanks to Maddie. She's really sweet, and so amazing. And I don't know how we're gonna like go through a podcast episode today without any of her gift magic and trolling magic. Come here, buddies. I'm gonna try stacking you. There we go. But as a little I guess background BTS tip, it's not really a tip, just a piece of information, we also do this when we want things out of edit. So whenever I'm making a video, especially if it's a gaming video, and then I don't want something in, maybe I sneezed or I picked my nose or I said something really dumb, I'll just go like this, Maddie, please, bloody blah. So if you accidentally see this in, it's because we've not done our jobs properly. Okay, ready? Oh my goodness, the little tags are in the way, but I think that works, you know? They might look a little overwhelming. The little bollicule? Yeah, that is what we have created right here. The shaabaandjamie clone bollicule. Aww. You don't know if your birthday message sent. Well, thank you. Bless you, Skylar. Thank you. Much appreciated. Cute. All right. Well, they can be like this at least for today. Who knows? If this will work long term. Oh my goodness. There we go. There we go. I think the ones below are a bit like squished, but I love it for today. Thank you, thank you. You're very kind for the birthday messages. Suki, thank you so much for the little backstage pass. Really appreciate your support. S'more plushies. It's making me want a s'more, right? I don't know about you though. I feel like food, my appetite drops so much when we are in the heat, and all I want is ice pops. The idea of a s'more is really cute, but like, also I then think about actually eating one and like that warm gooey goodness. Nah, I couldn't right now. Change your name legally this year? Cute! Congratulations, bug lover. Happy Pride, happy Pride. Thank you, Purple. Oh my goodness, everyone's so cute. We're having some Maddie love in the chat. We're having happy birthday messages. We're having Pride messages. I love it. Okay, as we are chit-chatting, are you ready to do what we actually came here for? Are you ready to go fishing for some drama? I have 3 links up here prepped from before, from previous episode. I thought we would take a look at them together. I'm going to see if I can share my screen. It shouldn't be a problem to do this. Thought we'd go through them together, maybe do a little poll over on YouTube, because I think I can do that now. And then I don't know if I have any mods in Twitch chat, but if not, I will painstakingly do the poll on both. It's so fine, it would just take me a little second. A live drama episode, woohoo! And then you guys can let us know too. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm just going to be really honest, we're doing this live. Let's go fishing for a sauce. Or if you're doing me drama. Let's go. If we're going to do this though, I am a bit nervous because when it's live, we just need to be really, really, really sure that we are being kind, okay? Because there's just one of me. I don't have a Jamie here with me today. And I want to make sure that we're just being really considerate in chat. So please, let's be mindful. I've actually never done this before. I don't think. Not me alone. Right at the beginning when we first started this podcast, over 2 years ago, we did it together, me and Jamie. This is very different. So yeah, let's see. Okay, ready? Let's see if this works. Hoo ha hee ha. Wow. Are we there? I think we're there. For anybody who doesn't know, we have the gorgeous 1-800 drama subreddit. And I thought it would be cute if every one of our posts today that we explore, nice, is from the 1-800 drama subreddit. Don't be mean. Don't be a dick. That is the point. Thank you so much, Suki. You're very kind. You're very sweet. Just remember, no matter how kind you are, German kids will always be kind. Kinder. That's a good dad joke right there. I see it. Jamie and Shaaba are like devils and angels. They were both angels? Lol. I was like, which one's the devil? But that was very kind. Oh, Felix, that's adorable. Okay, you can see the Reddit. Let's go through them together. Oh, OT does this thing in his streams where he has everyone in the chat write clear during stories to clean the slate. And spam, you are the drama or not the drama. Maybe we need to do that. Maybe we need to steal this little tip from OT. That sounds amazing. Hugs to OT, by the way. Awesome creator. If you haven't gone to take a look, you totally should. Okay, you ready? Normally see all as little snippets, right? This is like just a full-on page right now. So these are from the subreddit. Let's go through it together. I'm only going to do 3 because I don't want this to be like super duper long. Whenever I do streams, I'll typically go on quite a bit longer, but I've got a lot to do today. So that's why it's specifically 3. Let's not do any more. It's not because I don't want to hang out with you more. It's just because I need to manage my time a little bit more. Yes, we are live. Hi, Crows in a Boat. What a cute name. Love it, love it. Hey, Alva. Good thing I'm watching on my telly. Otherwise, it takes me too small to read. We will read it through, though. Don't worry. We'll do it together. For sure. Okay, so we'll do this, and then I will show you this little guy. He's a little small, but I'll show it to you afterwards. And these are our badges. We actually have a couple badge changes since this was printed, but we can go through that later, and then you can let us know what you think they are. Or I can just do the poll. That would be so much easier. I'm just being dumb. Okay, you ready? Okay, so A Peach asks us, am I the drama for how I argued with my dad about evidence and ancestry? Normally with my am I the dramas, there's like a gut reaction. What we thinking? I don't know. It's giving me like tradition vibes. Hugs to you, Shane. You're very sweet. Also, hi, Shane. Okay, should we read? I, says Oh Peach, I'm a 27-year-old woman, and I was discussing family trees with my parents at dinner. My mum, who's a 61-year-old woman, mentioned some things her cousin had mentioned about their family tree, which got us into a conversation about family tree tracking and things. Okay. My dad, who's a 61-year-old man, basically began to say that nothing in these trees are verifiable because the records could be wrong. I mean, yeah, but they could also be right. Like, it doesn't mean that they're not verifiable. Surely things are definitely verifiable. Like, you can say that something exists, and then you can verify the facts if there is evidence there to verify it. So, I'm not sure where we're going with this, but okay, Dad, go off. For context, says O Peach, he does this a lot with anything that cannot exactly be directly observed, and tends to pick and choose what he thinks is real or not. It's so bad. My first thought was, is he religious? That's my first thought. That's where my brain went to, because often when people say this, already sensing some underlying issues, says Bungie. Yep. But you too? Yeah. Because often when people say this, they pick and choose what they say it about. Lizzie, no. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the super chat. You are unbelievably sweet. Kaplooey to Yui. That's our little thing that we do. It makes more sense when Jamie's there and we can give you a fist bump together. But seeing it's just me, I do that. Thank you. So he's always right. Exactly. And then when it's things that he wants to be talking about that are not verifiable, it's fine to not verify it then. That's typically what happens, right? Let's read on. For context, he does this a lot with anything that can't exactly be directly observed and tends to pick and choose what he thinks is real or not usually based on actual evidence. And if the evidence disagrees with his beliefs, what were we just saying? He just says it's not real evidence. I love the idea that there is just like some scientist there saying, no, sir, the earth is round. Look. And there's your dad, who's, I don't know, an accountant, being like, no, expert, no, I will tell you what is real or not. Oy vey. The man is insecure? Possibly. It frustrates me that he tends to change the... Did you hear that? Thank you, Flash Monkey, but indeed. It frustrates me that he tends to change the logic he works with depending on the situation. I know a few people like that. So when he started to say that nothing can be proven, that you are actually descended from these people this far back. But you can. This is what I'm not understanding, because you can actually prove that. There are like marital records and job records. They're just records, right? It's people records. That's how these things can be built. There's that show. Isn't it Davina McCall? She does like... I forgot what it's called. It's not Who's Your Daddy. It's... It was on Doctor Who. Do you know what I'm talking about? The reality TV show. And then the little gremlin things came in the way. Records exist for a reason. Exactly. People records. People TM records. Oh, it's going to bug me. What is that show? Wait. Do you eat what you think? No. Think who you are. Who do you think you are? Thank you so much, Hard. That is exactly it. Who do you think you are? Thank you. That was going to bug me for a long time. And these things can be compiled because there is literal records. There's literal evidence. Okay. Anyway, where are we? I cited things such as marriage records, birth certificates, and the like as what it tends to be based on. I also noted that it's necessarily incomplete because record keeping is never perfect and not always consistent. And maybe that's what he's talking about, but it doesn't mean that you can be like, oh, none of them is real. He didn't acknowledge any of my points and continued to say that it's not real and cannot be proven. I then said that what does he have to, my head's saying, what does he have to lose from this? What is he so scared of with the idea of a family tree? They're really not that scary. So maybe there's some ulterior motive. I don't know. I then said that his logic is like saying that the French Revolution didn't happen because we can't go back and see with a time machine, so it could be completely fabricated. Right? Right? He began to deny that this is the same and got angry that I used this metaphor and said that I'm treating him like I'm stupid. You mean, and said that you're treating him like he's stupid. Yeah, you treat me like I'm stupid. Right, that was coming from the dad's point of view. Shakespeare would say, who dost thou think thou art? This is silly. This is silly. And this is honestly quite a damaging viewpoint to have as somebody, to be like, I must be right and now I'm doubling down on it. And because I'm giving you like this metaphor, this other thing to compare it to, that is logic. Why are you logic in my direction? You're making me seem like I'm stupid. You are patronizing me. It's not. If someone doesn't understand something, then you can totally explain it in a different way to help them. That is what my viewpoint is saying right now. You know how much I use metaphors all the freaking time. It's a bit on this podcast. Jamie's metaphor moments. Right? That's exactly what I thought. Craziest Crayon. Also, that is a great name, Craziest Crayon. What is Dad hiding in his family tree? What is it that you don't want to see? OT! Hi, buddy. OT in chat. We see you. Hello, welcome. We actually already shouted you out, babe. So I'll do it again, though. The Gorgeous One Topic is an incredible creator. As I already said, go and show him some love. Go and take a look online. Incredible content. Super fun, super wholesome. Super not trolling at all. OT, one of our gorgeous peaches, said that you have a really cool mechanism in your chat where you say clear and then you allow people to vote with like lots of comments. So we may be stealing that from you today. And that's when I was just like, OT's awesome. Go check him out. Okay, let's carry on. French Revolution. Do you think I'm stupid? Well, yeah, if the shoe fits. He then began to shout at me and wouldn't stop. He does this every time he gets mildly irritated and tends to continue until he shouts the other person down. Doesn't this also just seem like so exhausting? Like, you're around the dinner table having a cute little chat about family trees, and then all of a sudden someone's shouting at you and being so irate. Like, I don't know, I just think there's bigger things in the world to get irate over. The validity of the mechanism of family trees is so lame. I'm trying to think of a better word, but like, how can you be this passionate about this unless you really are hiding something? OT is the sweetest cinnamon roll. I see that. He sounds miserable and exhausting to be around. Exactly. I feel like we all know somebody who is like this. Maybe that's just an assumption coming from like my growing up experience. But I know a couple people who are like this, who just always need to have something to say. And it's just like, this is why we can't have nice things. You know, like, what is the big deal? Oh, I'm sorry, Shane. I won't be naming anybody out. I don't want to like immortalize that beyond chat. But yeah. Yes, hey, branded by M. Doing a little live one today. Shaaba standard time. Oh my god, we need to make that a thing. And Jamie's metaphor moments. Silly blah 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 blue. Mildly irritated. Yeah, okay. I wasn't in the mood to take that and walked away. Good for you. Good for you, Peach. I think we can all learn a lesson or two from that, because I know that it's not a permanent thing in my brain to remind myself that I don't need to put myself in the position where waves of shit just continue to to hit me. Sorry, I just saw in chat. Hardy wrote, or Shaaba's sidetrack second, and that's amazing too. I need to write these both down. I need to do something with this information. Hang on, we've got to make one of these a bit. Let me write them down on my little post-it note. And then we've got, what was the other one? Shaaba's Tangent Time, right? We'll make one of those work. We already trolled Jamie, so why not further troll Shaaba? Might as well. Hey, Irrational Rubes. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Hi, Vincenzo. It's been ages. Nice to see you, buddy. Welcome, welcome, Peach. I'm doing great things. Hope you are too. Kill says, I literally have this conversation every time my relative comes by. I feel for O Peach. Oh my god. Well, I feel like growing up. Do you ever see... It's going to sound potentially a bit ageist, and I don't mean it in this way. It's a good thing. Do you ever see old people in the supermarkets? Because this happens to me quite often. And then I see them being really slow. And it's always on a Sunday. It's always old people. They just work to a different time zone. They work to a beat of a pretty slow drum. And sometimes, depends on what I've had for lunch that day, some days I'm like, oh my god, this is so annoying. You're so entitled. What is wrong with you? Move faster. Just be mindful of those around you. Sidetrack side quest. Oh my goodness, we were having a full-on side quest branding meeting here in chat, and I love it. Right, so that's my first moment. Pokraj, hey, exactly that. That's my second thought, OT. When the other side of that is, I'm like, well, you know what? They deserve it. I feel like they're in their golden years. They deserve to go really, really slow and smell the, what is it? Smell the coffee? That's the phrase, isn't it? Smell the muffins, smell the asparagus, depending on what aisle they are in said supermarket. They deserve to take that time. And then I think, smell the roses. Oh, does it not smell the coffee? Smell the roses makes sense. But then coffee also smells really nice. Anyway, they're turtles. They're cute turtles sometimes and annoying turtles other times. My point is, I spoke to an older person in my life because of this, and they were like, you know what? We earn it. When you get to this age, you realize that you don't need to take shit from anybody. It is smell the roses. Oh my god. Well, I really genuinely thought it was coffee. And now I'm so dumb because at the beginning I was just like, oh yeah, coffee. Boom. I got that right first time, but clearly I didn't. My bad. How dare their knees keep them from going fast. Exactly that. And yeah, she's just like, look, I earned the right to not give a shit anymore. It's just my God-given right for the number of XP years that I have had here on this marble that we call Earth. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. And I want to learn from that. And I think we all need to learn from that. And brownie badge, I don't have one, but you can superimpose it right here in your mind to O Peach for being able to walk away. Because if I were like 5 years ago and younger, I would have felt like I had to sit there and just take it. And I'm glad that I don't feel that I need to do that anymore. I feel like society as a whole is maybe being more attuned to that. I don't know if it's me getting older myself and therefore exposing myself to other people who also have this XP years and who are sort of more jaded by the world and therefore more like, I'm just not going to do it, bro. I don't have time for this anymore. Or if it's because mental health and well-being and looking after yourself and self-care and putting yourself first is just more of a conversation now than it has been before. And especially in the age of like TikTok and Insta and whatever, we just have a more understanding society, at least in this bubble. Hey, Lilybane. I shouldn't be jaded at 23, damn it. I know. I'm sorry. The world has been tricky sometimes. I love that. Crystal, thank you for the fun fact. I actually did not know that. I genuinely thought it would have been German. I think the divide with community, says Trek, has become so prevalent now. Yes, this is true. We shouldn't be divided at all. But you're right, there's so much dyadic difference, right? Because not only do we have the political left and right, which I don't want to talk about too much today, like, at all, but also... Yeah, I definitely think that it's within generations too. And you see it. It's algorithms. Social media can be so wonderful, but it's a double-edged sword, and there are elements of it that is so problematic, and I definitely think that this algorithm pushing has, even on the face of how we use social media, changes so much. Facebook, old people, that's like the thing, right? Insta, younger people. Hi, Pokey. You come and say hi. Speaking of old people. Come, buddy. I don't have something to, like, give you. Here, maybe you want to smell my charcuterie board. Yeah, and then you can come say hi to the little peaches. Hi, buddy. He was so mad that it wasn't food. You saw him for a flash second, right? But, yeah, sorry. I tried to bait him over, and he was on to me, and he was very, very mad. So, I'm sorry. He'll be back, I'm sure. Sippy soup glip glip, for sure. Major. Thank you, Kaploi Tiwi, for the super chat. Appreciate the support. Repeat after me, says Major. I'm not wrong, but I refuse to engage with someone whose ideas of being right is being louder. Come back with actual evidence. Imagine that was a microphone. The boom. The boom, the boom, the boom is right there. We can like these things. I can't like them. Oh, there's a little thumb on it and I wanted to like it. Oh, I can heart it. Cute. Can I heart every comment? No. But there you go. I can heart it. Thank you so much. I love that. Everybody needs that eloquence. Stay safe, Sam. A whisper of a cat. A whisper of a cat. So, am I the drama? Asks O Peach. For how I spoke during this argument, not at all. Not at all. I was trying to get the point across, but he said that I was treating him badly by how I chose to do it. I didn't intend disrespect, but now I'm wondering if I did something wrong. I'd appreciate the insight. I know the metaphor was a bit dramatic. I don't think it was dramatic at all. I was just thinking back to the metaphors that I give, and I can certainly be dramatic. And sometimes using too dramatic a metaphor, that's what my head does, because I put these principles onto other things. I'd be like, yeah, well, what if someone had a knife to you? And then Jamie's like, Shaaba, we're talking about a croissant, babe. Like, calm down. But it's just like where my head goes. And sometimes that can definitely be to a detriment, because people are like, well, come on now. Like, don't overinflate the situation, when that's not what my intention is. But your metaphor was not at all saying flat earther, which is what I said, right? Which could be considered in some way inflammatory. What did you say? You literally just spoke about the French Revolution. Like, it's just history, bro. It's just history. I didn't intend to disrespect. Now I'm wondering if I did something wrong. I'd appreciate the insight. I know the metaphor was a bit dramatic, but I went for a more obvious one in order to be more clear with the point. Not to treat anyone like they aren't intelligent, but perhaps my words didn't translate that way. I think you were very clear. There's definitely a point sometimes in saying, like, if someone doesn't understand what you're saying, then maybe you should be rephrasing it. But I think in this situation, your dad's just being really difficult. Not the drama. Was that Apollo or Prom? That was Apollo. He shouted and ranted. The dad was dramatic, refusing to listen to other arguments or points. Exactly, refusing to listen to reason. And anybody who has to resort to pitch and volume, because let's be honest, they often go hand in hand. The people that shout a lot also tend to get kind of squeaky, and they're like, and another thing. And I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm sorry, but please sit down. We are talking right now. There is no reason for you to up the decibels. There is no reason for you to turn into Mariah Carey. We can just chat. And if your points cannot be delivered in the same way that my points can be delivered in order to be understood, then they're not decent enough points. Really? Not the drama. I'm seeing it all in chat. I don't think it was dramatic either. And when only dogs can hear you, you know the pitch has gone too far. Exactly this. Awkward writer. Also a gorgeous name. Average awkward writer. If you shout, you've lost the argument usually. It's hard, isn't it? Because sometimes I can also understand that our emotions can get the better of us. When I get really, like, irate, I don't tend to raise my voice, but the tears, bro, they sabotage me. They deceive me, they pop up to my eyes, and they make me seem like I'm sad, even when I'm not sad. Like, I'm actually angry. Most of the time, when tears come to my eyes in an argument, it's because I'm pissed off. And then people treat me like especially because I'm a woman, right? They're like, oh, no need to get so upset, love. And I'm like, I'm not upset. I want to slap you with a fish. But the tears, They give off a different vibe. I'm going to pick when people say... I don't know if this feels out of context. I'm so sorry, Trek. I did not pay attention to the beginning part of that conversation. Turns imaginary volume knob down. Yup. Very this. Okay. Shall we do... I mean, I feel like this is quite a straightforward one. I'm trying to see if I can do the little poll. Bear with. That's emojis. Here we go. You are the drama. Not the drama. Everybody sucks here. No drama here. I'll just stick with those 4. I can only do 4, it seems. The poll is live over on the use of the tubes. So you do there. But also, you can just write it in chat. Twitch. Write it in chat. Give me a badge. Let me know your thoughts. Let me go here. Whoop. To our little badge sheet. It's so poorly printed. But you can kind of see it. Doop, 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 doop. Those are your badges. You're welcome for the eyebrow dance. This, by the way, wasn't made for you. I know it's like, it's really badly printed. I don't want you to be like, oh my god, Shaaba, what kind of prop was that? This is for me, to remind myself when Jamie and I are doing our little podcasts, what the options are. Not the drama. I say brownie badge to OP for OP, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. I keep putting it up because it's just within my nature to do that. But I don't have a gorgeous Maddie superimposing my badges now. I know what to do. I know what to do. I'm gonna draw myself a little brownie. Mew, mew, mew. With some bite marks in it. Oh, it's such a good looking brownie. Meow, meow, meow. Draw myself some little crumbs. Stick them in a little badge. Oh my god, that was a terrible badge. Bam. Brownie hand. Brownie hand. There you go. He's probably so scared of losing control. For sure. Good on OP for not escalating. Lily says I'm 20 minutes behind and can't vote. Oh, you can vote. Don't worry. Oh, you can just type it in chat if you want. Hashtag good luck, no brownie. Beautiful art. Thank you. Thank you, Daddy Square Brownie. Alright, should we take a look at some comments? 95%. Oh, we do have a 2% You're the Drama. I am intrigued. Oh, we have a 2% Everybody Sucks here. And a 1% No Drama here. Across 100 people. That's really cool. Very cool. To the, yeah. You all on the Twitch mod should pin a comment with a link to the YouTube stream. Everybody over on Twitch, should you wish to, know that you can head over to the YouTube Shaaba channel for sure. Thank you, Bug Lover. I surprisingly can do some art. I know I don't do a lot of public facing stuff, but you'll see with the things that are coming out really soon, you'll see. I had brookie ice cream earlier, and now all I can think about when I hear the word brownie is brookie. Jamie had a brookie once. For anybody who doesn't know, well, actually I don't know if it's the same thing if you're saying brookie ice cream. Jamie had a brookie, which was a brownie inside 2 cookies with a huge dollop of ice cream on top. Could have been accidental clicks, sure, but also it could just be people like voting that way. Let's try and put ourselves in the mindsets of somebody. I'm not seeing a you are the drama specifically. I can see from the sense of that everybody sucks here. Certain people, hang on, I can see where they're coming from. I don't agree with it, but I can understand why. I think that's my people pleasing, to be honest. Saying that. I guess what I'm trying to say is I can understand why people might hang on, let me try and rephrase that. And this is why we edit. I can imagine what people's viewpoints would be within Everybody Sucks here. That's what I was trying to say. I don't agree with that badge personally, but I can see why some people could arrive at that opinion. You want ice cream now? Ice cream's amazing. Whilst we let the poll run for a little second longer, before we take a look at some comments, Morgan asks, do you have any music coming out soon? Weird is one of my favourite songs to jam to. Oh, actually, I do. I'm very excited to share some with you. I've got a little production session coming up very soon. Yeah, why not? I'll share some stuff now. And I do have some new music generally releasing. But more importantly, I've been presented a really big gig. I am headlining a Pride event. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything I can't tell you right now. I'm headlining a Pride event in London. I can definitely tell you that. I can tell you. I can totally tell you. I don't know if I can tell you, so I'm a little bit scared to say it live. So I won't give any bigger details beyond I'm headlining a Pride event in London on I'll give you the date. On the 29th of August. And it is entirely free for you to attend. And it's in a super iconic venue. And from the limited details I have, because things are still happening right now, the lineup's going to be pretty awesome. There's going to be awesome people that you should just be supporting generally. But they very kindly asked me to be their music headliner, and I have said yes. Am I shit myself? Absolutely. Are we going to have the best time ever? Also, absolutely. Am I going to do maybe a 1-800 drama or red flag, green flag? Maybe. But you should totally come. It's going to be free. It's going to be so much fun. There's a whole day of panels and fun and amazingness, and I will absolutely be promoting it as well. But I'm just gonna be a little bit mindful of the details, because I haven't been given like the big glaring green light. Like, they haven't shared things yet, so I don't want to share things until I know I'm definitely allowed to. But I'm sure I can tell you what I've just told you. So please do come if you would like to. And also, I'll give you another one, just in case you want to, but no pressure. At the end of July, on the 25th, over in Brighton, I'll be performing for a little street party. This awesome DJ, the Brighton radio DJ of BBC Introducing, Melita Dennett, very kindly invited me to play last year at a Pride event called The Queer Escape, and it was so much fun. And she's hosting another event, and it's a street party that's very like Pride themed, and it's super duper cute. The last one was really good vibes too, and that one's also free to attend. So if you wish to come to either, I'd love to see you there. But the 25th of July is in Brighton, and I've forgotten the date already. I'm so sorry. The end of August one, the 29th of August, is in London at a super, super, super iconic venue. I think I might even be able to tell you the venue. And then if you guys figure it out, that's on you. It will be at the King's Place in King's Cross is the headline event that is happening. So yeah, come along if you want to. All right, we've given this poll enough time. Interesting. So we are 3% you are the drama, 94% not the drama, 2% everybody sucks here, and 2% no drama here. Very cool. Oh, this is so fun, like doing it live and seeing people respond as well. Should we take a look at some comments together on the post? And if you want to provide some extra comments and commentary, you are very welcome to do so. We can read some out together too. I guess what, says a Peach, this is how every discussion in which you use logic with your dad This is where you decide if you want to beat your head against a wall or just basically ignore dad. You know he's inaccurate. Other people know it and he will never admit it. Yeah. I can understand some people who pick hairs, and I can understand some people who might be saying, well, you know what? Actually, we don't know the full validity of something. If that's what he was arguing, then fair enough. But that doesn't sound like the point that he was trying to make. And especially with this ongoing pattern, Jamie always says, make sure we're looking for patterns, and I think that's so important that we can establish patterns. The pattern here is dad uses techniques of shouting and overpowering people to make their points seem invalid. And that's not the nice thing to do. And I feel like that's what's happening here too. This is where you decide if you want to beat your head of wall or just ignore dad. You know he's inaccurate, other people know it, he'll never admit it. I have a family member like this. We all basically listen and say our opinions and move along. It's not worth the frustration. Our favourite phrase to use is, that's an interesting way to look at it. I see that sometimes, I guess like, I can understand and relate in the sense that there are some moments 1 second spoke of love. Some moments, I'm just going to forget my bean, where what we need to do is say, okay, in one ear and out the other. That was my family's phrase to somebody that I have in mind who's no longer with us, but in one ear and out the other. And sometimes you got to choose when you want your drama to be. And walking out can cause more, the word that I use, my culture uses, palab, than it's worth. So maybe that's something to keep in mind. Would love to hear your thoughts. Meanwhile, Spoke of Love. Anyone on YouTube is like, what is going on? The gorgeous Spoke of Love has come and raided us. You've only sent a gorgeous little raid across for the little family. Thank you so much for sending your sporky comfort attack this way. I am so grateful. How was your stream? Did you have a wonderful time? It's been ages since I've caught a stream. I hope you're doing well. What were you up to? Let us know. Gorgeous peaches over all platforms. I'm multi-streaming right now, Spork. Spork of Love is an awesome streamer and you should totally go check him out. The Cat Comfy Brigade. Prefer to be boarded and made comfortable. Oh, the wholesome vibes are so wholesome right now. Think ukulele. Think duvets. Think cute cozy lighting. Go check out Spork. You have the right to remain comfy. If you can't afford a pillow, one will be provided for you. I love this raid so much. Hi. To anybody who doesn't know, my name is Shaaba. I normally goof around playing games on the internet with our live streams. Hi, Poco. Oh my god, we said cats, and you summoned a cat. You summoned one of my cats. Popo. He's struggling with the heat. He's actually just gone and sat right in front of the aircon. So I was just going to go and grab him for you, but I think maybe that wouldn't be kind. So I'll let him just be by the aircon for now, if that's okay. But yes, my name's Shaaba. Sorry, I goof around on the internet, normally playing games. Right now, though, we're doing something we haven't done in a really, really long time. I've not done it before, ever. And we're doing a live podcast episode for 1-800-DRAMA, because I think there's so much that we can learn from storytelling of other people. It's basically like an agony aunt advicey kind of content, if you're into that kind of thing. On the face of it, I get to judge people and call people assholes for a living. But beyond the laughs, it's actually really interesting. This is why I do it, right? To explore the moral nuances in that sort of like the greys between what is black and white, right and wrong. I think there's a lot to learn. And so we learn together. It's quite fun doing this live. A little bit scary, but mostly fun. Welcome. Sagan is a good chunky boy. Oh, I love this sticker. I'm assuming this is Sagan. That is so adorable. If you need to raid and run or do your post self-care things, please do. I don't feel like you have to stick around, but very grateful for your presence. Much love. We had a blast watching badly made Italian movies featuring muscle men. Well, that sounds like an adorable roller coaster. Sorry, I said adorable and then you said muscle men and now my head is linking the two together. I didn't mean adorable. I was just looking at Sagan's sticker again, and that was why adorable came to mind. Hey, Polko, you want to come say hi? Hi, baby. He's looking at me. I can see it in his eyes. He wants the cuddles. You can come. But he's also a warm boy. It must be so hard being a cat with fluff. And both of my boys are very, very fluffy. Okay, well, you know my lap is here if you want it. Okay. Opie actually responded and said, I know it's not worth it, but I put this example here wondering if I'm missing something. I need an outside opinion of whether I'm being gaslit to believe that it's not respectful or if I'm actually being respectful. And a Peach has responded and said, I think the issue here is that it isn't logical. It doesn't matter what you say or how you say it. How logical it is, he won't see it. Exactly. There are some people who, that's what I was saying, it's just not worth responding to. And this, like, in one ear and out the other is therefore important to protect your sanity, even if it might not feel like the just thing to do. Yes, thank you, Spork of Love. Me too. Grateful for that too. Make sure you're staying hydrated and cool. Oh my goodness. Hey, first time chat. We have a Peach who we covered on the podcast. Off topic, but I'm O Peach with a tattoo cover up. Oh, you got it and it's perfect. Yay! And your son got his diagnosis. Awesome. Awesome. I'm again so sorry that your sister treated you that way, but grateful that you have been able to find power and a sense of right in what's good for you from it. Thank you so much for sharing and for updating us. Twingo, thank you for the support. Kaplui to Yui. Cuppa. There you go. It is too hot, isn't it? Isn't it? I couldn't imagine having like a fur coat on, which is what the cats have on all the time. I get it, their bodies work differently. Okay, should we finish this comment? I'm sorry, I'm taking so long to go through these posts. In his mind, as a child, you are disrespectful. In your mind, he is disrespectful to not listen because you're an adult now, not a child. Other way, it's an argument. So do you want to argue either respectfully or disrespectfully, or just get along with someone who will never see your point of view? Our household, we can say our points of view. The person we're discussing, whatever topic expresses theirs, we get to see if that point assimilates with our point of view, or if we have clarifying questions, then either accept or agree to move on. This is normal. I think it's fine to have opposing viewpoints. I don't think this is what O Peach is talking about. I think the issue here is we need to be respectful of other people's viewpoints. It's kind of what we say in these podcasts, right? It's so fine to have your opinion. Share your opinion. No one is saying not to do that, but don't shout other people down for having opinions that are different to yours. This is where this dad, I do think, is stepping the line into definitely being the drama. This Peach continues by saying, you don't have to agree with family or friends on anything. You need to be able to express those differences peacefully and respectfully, and your dad doesn't share this view. To love and respect him, you have to agree with him in his mind, right? I don't think this Peach is saying this is what has to happen. So you can spend your time arguing with him and not getting to enjoy the good parts of him, or just let it roll and not argue and let him be in his little world. There isn't always a right and wrong. It's more about accepting who he is. I see the insight and I appreciate the insight of what's being said, but I don't think I agree with that concluding point. I definitely think that even if someone is stuck in their ways, it's important that we're able to challenge the people that we love and be able to say, you're not acting in a way here that is incredible. And I wish that you were able to be more accommodating, just because that's sort of like how people are. It's kind of giving the vibe of like a leopard can't change its spots. And I do agree that people don't change. People, like, it's miraculous to see people change, but people do grow. And people will only grow if we give them the opportunity to grow. And that's why I guess I'm pushing back a little bit towards the end of this comment. But I do see the point that's being made. There's another response. Peach comes back and says, I don't find it acceptable to steamroll literally anything somebody else says. He doesn't respect what I say, so I don't feel inclined to do that for him. He's of the view that just because I'm younger and I'm not allowed to disagree with him, and I have a fundamental issue with this. We see it so much with older generations too, right? What's the Apollo? Oh, you're sitting on my laptop, babe. Doesn't matter. It's fine. He's pressing some kind of key. It's making my password go funny. It doesn't matter. The Matilda scene when he's like, I'm big, you're small, I'm right, you're wrong, and there is nothing that you can do about it. Too many people feel like this. Oh, I'm sorry, Laura. Yeah, this is a live one. I wish in a heated argument my words came out as calm as yours. Totally lose my marbles. I do too, Laura. Trust me. Being able, I think there's like so much of being able to say. Actually, no, I want to give myself a little bit more credit. I don't. I used to be a lot worse with it. I am a bit better now, but not all the time. And it's definitely something that we all have to like constantly work on. I'm a lot easier, that's what I was trying to say, talking about the stuff when it's not you in the situation. But when it's you, we don't always see things like with this objective viewpoint, and we're not always as eloquent as we want to be. And if you're me, you're just not eloquent most of the time anyway. Gil says, I wish I could challenge the people that I love to be more accommodating, but honestly I have the same fight every week or every 2 weeks if I'm lucky, and while over the years some have changed their views, others have not. There's so much that goes into those decisions as well, right? Which is why it has to be what's right for you. There's nuance. There's nuance to freaking everything. And another important conversation or point to bear in mind is how often you're going to have to speak with this person. How often do you depend on these people? Because when you depend on these people for shelter, if you're living with them, for financial stability, if you're a student, for example, if you don't have an income of yourself yet, there's only so much that you can say whilst also maintaining this space because of that dynamic of power. And it's unfortunate, and it's frustrating, and it's annoying, and I see you. Do you know who has a really good, eloquent speech, Steph? Jamie. He's really good at that. I wish I had Jamie's brain often. Whilst I understand and treat many people in the way that you describe, I don't for him because he doesn't stop at a disagreement. He shouts until you give up, submit and cry, and he doesn't care which of those it is. In which case, he doesn't care about sharing his point of view. He cares about being right. And those are kinds of people, it's just not worth your time, in my opinion. All right, shall we, let's do the little hacky thing. If everybody in chat can write clear, that would be awesome. Let's spam the word clear in chat. We'll reset it. Petition for Apollo. Cat top. Like, oh, get Apollo's own laptop. Get him a cat top. Yeah, we should totally do that. Let's spam clear in the chats. Thank you. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention this. Just in case you are unable to comment, just be aware that I've set the YouTube chat to only be subscribers because I didn't know how far that was going to go. I wanted to make sure that we were being safe because I have a responsibility not just for myself but also for you guys to not, deal with poopy people. So there's like a little time limit, a 3-minute time limit until you're able to chat, just so you're aware. So if you want to sub, you're very welcome to do so. It would totally help me out. Thank you so much. I crocheted my cat's a laptop. Oh my god, Shane, that's incredible. I love it. Ethan says we've been petitioning for a prawn emote for years. You have. I'm so sorry. I will. I say I will. I'm not going to unless I write it down. Here you go. Believe it or not, it is on a to-do list. My to-do list is just about 400 items long. I'll get to it at some point. Jamie can explain brainy topics in simple ways. It's one of his superpowers. We love him for it. All right. Are we ready to go fishing again? Let's do it. Okay. Boop. Here we go. A would I be tender? Love a good would I be the drama. If I RSVP no to my partner's brother's... Wait, hang on. This is one person. To my partner's brother's best friend's wedding and told him I was busy. Interesting. Hey, Meadow. Yes, it is live. Welcome. Relatable ADHD queen. Love to hear it, Erica. I'm glad we are twinning. Okay. This is the question. Would I be the drama if I RSVP no to my partner's brother's best friend's wedding and told him I was busy? Hey, Peaches. Hey, Coastal. Coastal is a 29-year-old man. Partner is a 30-year-old man. Partners... Oh, my God. Okay, so partner is a 30-year-old man. Partner's brother, Ryan, is a 29-year-old man. And Ryan has a best friend called Dom, and he's our groom, and he's a 29-year-old man. The friend group generally is late 20s and early 30s. Okay, bit of a trigger warning here. We've got some substance driving mentioned. Like the title suggests, says O Peach, says Coastal, I'm trying to decide if it would be wrong for me to say no. My partner is going to go regardless. Cool. This is important because when we talk about wedding and guest lists, I just think that sometimes people forget that they are separate beings and we don't always need to do everything together. Dom and Ryan, so this is your partner's brother and his best friend, the groom, have been friends since childhood and have always been close. Both Dom and Ryan are genuinely good guys. My problem isn't with them, it's with the majority of their friend group. Interesting. I don't run in the same circles as Dom and Ryan. I grew up farther away and we don't share overlapping friends. I've tried to hang out with them at parties, but we didn't really click. My biggest problem with the group is their drinking. They are all heavy drinkers. Even worse than that, they all drink and drive. We don't condone that here. Is condone the right word? We don't like that here. This is very frustrating. This is horrible. I would not be friends with people who, especially repeatedly, and sounds like unremorsefully, drink and drive. It sounds like this is just practice, things that they do within the friendship group, and it's just like normal for them. And we don't do that here. Big no, big no. Okay. Allegedly, a good chunk have gotten tickets. One allegedly was arrested for a drunk driving hit and run situation. Oh my god. And one was allegedly drunk and speeding and got into a bad accident where the only one seriously hurt was himself. It sounds to me, I know that O Peach Coastal here is just being like, what is the word? A mouthpiece for these other stories, but it is not okay that they are trying to justify to be like, oh, but it's okay. I was the only one who got seriously hurt. You cannot judge actions based on the results that happened when the results could be so varied. You don't know how many people you could be hurting in that situation. It is not okay to justify something and be like, oh, no, what if, this is what happened. I was the only person that got hurt. Yeah, but other people could genuinely die. That is so unbelievably reckless, and it makes my blood boil. To my knowledge, they still drive home from the bars. I'm not really a drinker, and when I do, I get a designated driver or I drink at a place that I intend to stay the night. I think Dom is great, but I really don't want to be around his friends. I'm already uncomfortable enough at weddings and big parties, so would I be the drama if I just RSVP'd no and told him that I'm busy that day? What do we think, Peaches? I know, like, that's crazy, Emily. The fact that this has happened within the group, they're still seeing so many people have so many bad things happen, and they still drink and drive. I didn't know that this was, like, a culture. I didn't know that there were people out there who just do that. Like, what the hell? Who just considers this norm. Yeah, multiple times, Jess. Baboom. Thank you so much, my love, for your support. Very grateful. You don't need to apologize for things that you don't want to do, says Ethan. Very this. Can I also ask, is drinking culture big where you are? I understand that our peaches are scattered all around the world. I definitely think that the UK has a particularly big drinking culture. And I don't know if in the States, which is typically where a lot of these posts come from, if they are also very big on alcohol. Often people who live in the countryside with limited bus access. No need to put yourself in danger for someone else. Yeah. So Shane, I don't think that the wedding would be dangerous to go to. I hear that other people doing something, well, yeah, I honestly didn't even think about it in that sense. Yeah, I don't think the wedding would put you in harm's way. I do think, though, you are very entitled to not feel a need to go. Especially because drinking is also huge in the States. Yeah, it's hard as well because I don't drink alcohol, so I'm not, like, immersed in that culture at all. I'm just hearing from other people. I've heard that the States doesn't have, yeah, exactly, as much of this binging culture that we have here in the UK. I hear as well that a lot of Americans get so shocked at how prevalent drinking is in UK culture, like just how normal and social it is to do that. Hey Faye. Yes, it's alive. Hello. Not the drama, but if the partner hangs out with them, I think about the relationship. It's an interesting point, like how when a friendship group, let me rephrase this. And this is why we edit, people. This is why we don't do them live. How prevalent is it? How notable is it to have different values to a large group of your friends? What do your friends say about you? Is it fair to judge someone based on their friends? I do think that, really, if it's worse in the UK than here, I do think so, Raina. There are like, all I know is from, what am I saying? From documentaries, there are a lot of Americans who are absolutely shocked at how ridiculous, like, pub crawls the pub, right? The British pub, it's like a thing. How prevalent, drinking culture is in the UK, especially like how young and prevalent it is. It's a lot. But I do also think that in terms of other substances, the States, for example, have much bigger issues with that than we do here in the UK. The UK seems to be smoking, as in cigarettes and like tobacco cigarettes. That's what they're called, like normal cigarettes, and also drinking. Yeah. I was saying something I've forgotten. I'm so sorry. But yeah, how maybe the point that I remember saying was how much can we judge ourselves based on our friends. I do think that often friends typically share values, so it's really unusual to see people who have different, like such different values still be friends. Normally you'd see them walk away at that point. And so I do think it kind of takes me back sometimes when I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean your friends are not like you? You know, what do you mean your friends condone drink driving? That's not okay. For a second, it would make me question, hang on a second, do you? Have you had this conversation with them? Why are you okay with it? At the same time, I do think there's nuance to everything, but it's hard because this is not just a typical friend, right? This is your partner's brother's friend. And it sounds like, yeah, they're all boys. So obviously, like, especially when you're going towards that, like, adult age, you are going to be siblings as well as friends. If nothing's gone wrong and you've not, like, fallen out for some big reason, it makes so much sense that two boy brothers would also be mates. But maybe they're mates kind of because, not you have to be, but do you see what I mean? There's a difference between family and chosen family. So perhaps that's also playing a role. Maybe your partner wouldn't actually be condoning this friendship group, but they happen to be there because it's his brother. And so they hang out sometimes. Fan says, I love getting drunk. I relax better with alcohol than other relievers, but if my friends have problems like an attitude of drunk driving, then I would not be drinking with them. It's just the kind thing to do, right? Like to be looking out for your loved ones. I don't want to wake up to news that you've gotten into some massive accident, that you're hurting yourself and potentially people around you. So why would I ever think that that was an okay thing to just be like, oh yeah, sure babe, you do you. Weird. Shane says, I'm also a non-drinker, but I'd 100% not go to a wedding if a large group of the people attending have problems with drinking. If they're able to say it's one drink per person and no one drives home, that would be different, but I wouldn't be putting myself around drunk people. It's interesting. I feel like maybe what some peaches here in the live have gotten from this as well is this idea of like, it's because of the drinking specifically. But what I took away from this was actually nothing to do with the drunk culture that will be at the wedding and more a moral friction. To be like, I don't like going to these big events anyway, these big social events. I don't particularly love the idea of going to a wedding. So do I have to go and do this with people who I really clash with in terms of like ethics? By the way, childhood friendships are especially difficult. Exactly that, Crows. All right, so what do we think? Would I be the drama, asks Coastal, if I just RSVP no and tell him that I'm busy that day? So this is more as well than just saying no. It's also like, I guess, like a lie that you could potentially trip yourself up with. Cast your votes now. I won't do a poll again. Pop your like spam chat with your little badges. We can get an idea from the sense of messages that are coming through. But my badge, maybe I shouldn't give my badge until you give your badges. Ooh, everybody sucks here, says Weatherwax, young Weatherwax, which is different to the other badges that we're seeing, which is mostly not the drama. If you're happy to share, my love, I'd love to hear your thought process behind that. Lots of not the dramas. Isn't anyone else intrigued by the use of allegedly? I agree that they're not the drama badge, but I don't know, the way the post is written makes me curious about potential things that are not said here. It did make me go, oh, and my initial thought was, remembering as well that these are from Peaches, perhaps if I was to post on our forum, I would be nervous that people in my real life and not just online community would see these too. So it might be a sense of, I don't know, looking out for them or like covering your own back, just in case they were like, I can't believe you said that this happened. Whereas if you're like, I said allegedly, bro, like, because it's public knowledge, right? And some of these posts do get very big. They go beyond just our community as well, as they do on the other advice forums that we look at. And everybody sucks here from Mag as well. Awesome. No shade, by the way, when I'm saying that. If either of you would like to share, if anyone wants to share their badges and the reasoning, I would love to hear your thoughts. Hey, Carol. Nice to see you. Glad you made it. Exactly. Being careful of legality or other backlash that might not be legality, but just impact, like heavy accusatory impact from loved ones in real life. They might not have tested it on animals, but vaping is still a genuine issue among teens and often becoming a gateway to worse. Says Al Nebula. I'm not surprised. I hear you. I actually heard the other day, it was so sad. There are people in real life, whilst we're spamming the chat with our badges, spam, 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 let me know your badges. Moldy brownies to all the drunk drivers. Vary this, Alba. Thank you for your support. And totally agree. Here is my moldy badge for you. Let me put some moldiness around my silly little badge. Blip, 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 blip. Sad face. Sad face. Sad face. There you go. Moldy brownie. Yeah, no, truly though, it's disgusting behavior. I've never seen people talk about it so nonchalantly as if it is just culture. I've heard recently, and it made me very sad, that not just vape culture, but specifically, I don't know if there's a word for it, but you know, tools to help you overcome addiction. So things like nicotine patches in particular. When you have been smoking, if you wish to no longer smoke, a way to help you curb that addiction and get over that addiction is to use nicotine patches, which you put on yourself, like on your arms typically, or nicotine strips is the other one, which you like put here in between your gum and your teeth, and they last for X amount of time. I heard from a friend who read it from the FT, so this is like a legit source, that kids these days, like in the playground, the new cool thing to do is to literally just be using these when you are not trying to get over an addiction. So now kids, thank you so much, Erica, for the sticky note badge appreciation. So many kids now are getting addicted to nicotine strips, like gum strips and patches, just on their own. Like, what? Why? What? It's so confusing to me how these things happen. And this to me is as shocking as that. I'm like, what on earth are you doing? Making it sound like this is just a normal thing to do. Since when was this normalized? Bizarre ER. What a fab idea to do this live forever. Bless you. Thank you. I was a little bit nervous, but I have to say, everyone here is so kind. I don't know why I was as nervous as I was. It's because I think for podcast stuff, I'm so used to like streaming games. It's like a little safe space, but I'm so used to having the safety blanket of things being edited. I just get really self-conscious when I don't read things eloquently, like in one go. So I'm stumbling a little bit, but no one's mentioned anything. No one's bullying me for it. So I'm very grateful for everyone being so kind. Okay. Taking a look. Oh, so one of the Everybody Sucks here justifications was, I think that the saying I'm busy that day could lead to some more issues who found out and may not be the best way to go about saying no. Totally hear you. Totally agree. And I also wonder if you're doing it for like a moral reason like that, is it worth saying? Would it cause more problems, or is it better for you to be like, I just don't gel with your friends? Especially because it's not someone who's super close to you, right? It's your partner's brother's friends. Like, that's not your friend. There shouldn't really be an onus for you to be going anyway. So maybe just being like, we don't really gel very well would be better than you potentially developing a bad reputation if someone's like, but you weren't busy. I saw you in Greg's, bitch, when you were supposed to be at that wedding. What happened? And then you have problems. I see where you're coming from. Tim says, wedding as in ceremony or wedding as in the party afterwards. I would say go to the wedding but not the party and say that you don't like the drinking or driving culture. It's not the friends group wedding. I love the idea of that. I appreciate this difference too, and you're so right in that you could enjoy the ceremony part without going to the bit with the alcohol. Purple says, my family, whenever there's drinking, they do it like a family house with a big yard so people can camp here instead of driving home. And those who talk about driving, they lock up the keys. And if you need something, they have a DD to take you to prevent stuff. I don't know what that end bit means, but that sounds very responsible and very considerate. Thank you so much, Nevi. Grateful for you being here. Yes, the UK has banned smoking, Huggin, White Crow. The UK's done it in a... I'm glad that it's happened, but it has been done in a really bizarre way. So the way that the UK's banned smoking is like on an age basis. So it's sort of like when you are... from my understanding, it's when you are X amount of age. Like anybody born after this year is not allowed to buy cigarettes, which means that people who were... because it's illegal to smoke if you're underage. So people who never reached the age of legality for smoking at the age in which the ban came in place will never be able to buy cigarettes, and it will, the cigarette industry will therefore sort of like die out and age with the people who also smoke, if that makes sense. It's like a long-term phase out that I think has been done to also balance the corporate reliance on cigarettes, because we need to also remember that this industry, the alcohol industry and the tobacco industry, is one of the biggest, I'm trying to be careful with what I say, financial donors to our political parties. So there's a very large vested interest as to why we have unhealthy things so readily available. Bonkers to me, but then I was smoking at a young age. I do understand as well, like, how people just get into it. You're very sweet, Laura. Sorry, I'm just catching up on chat. Right. They just die out. That's such a weird way to phrase it. It sounds horrible, but yeah, they just die out. What is Greg's, asks Raina? Greg's is one of the coolest pastry shops that we have in the UK. Greg's is like a chain bakery, and they do really good sausage rolls and really good vegan sausage rolls. And if you come to the UK, it's like one of the... Have you ever heard of like a cheeky Nando's? And Nando's has become like Brit culture. Greg's is big time Brit culture. One of the best things that they do there, that Jamie and I love so much, is a tuna crunch baguette. Oh my god, it's so good. So if you ever go to a Greg's, go check out the tuna crunch baguette. Enjoy the ceremony and then skip the reception. Yeah. I also find like people do not always drink like from the very beginning of a reception. So if you wanted to go just to like still enjoy the vibes, I'm sure there were parts that you can go to, and remembering that just because you go to some doesn't mean that you have to go to everything. But also you don't have to go. If you don't want to, it sounds like you don't, because the post was also talking about how you don't enjoy like big ceremonies. It's okay. I would say if it was your partner's brother, there would be a social expectation for you to go. If it was your partner, well then I'm presuming that you'd be the one getting married, then obviously there'd be an expectation to go. But you know, this sense of like proximity to who this person is, it's your partner's brother's friend. I wouldn't think that there was any guilt or onus on you for saying no. My sister was a manager at Nando's, so we have it here in Canada. Hell yeah. I'm making you hungry? I'm sorry. Okay, well, let's take a look at some comments, do the final one, and then we can wiggle forward. Does that sound good? Love a Greg's bacon sausage roll. Me too. They're so good. They are so good. Also, in Iceland, which is a shop in the UK, like a supermarket that does specifically frozen foods, they're like very well known for their larger frozen ranges. Iceland do a collab with Greg's, and you can get Greg's sausage rolls to put in your home freezer, and then you can like stick it in the oven and have a sausage roll whenever you want, and they're so good. I'm waiting for them to do the vegan Greg's sausage rolls though, because those I think are even nicer than the other sausage rolls, the OG sausage rolls. Yes. Medical reasons they are trying to ban it, but actually it could. Messages disappearing. It could be pretty bad for the economy. I don't like the inconsistency of how these laws are applied. It confuses me greatly. So there's something bigger. I don't mean to have my tinfoil hat on there, Shane, but there's something bigger. It doesn't make sense that as to why that's not allowed, especially in a medical way. And yet, cigarettes and alcohol are. Make it make sense. Yes, I despise, says Huggin, that the government allows tobacco because it brings them money. Like, alcohol is kind of fine because at least here in Spain it's used for cooking, and 1 beer or 1 cup of wine while eating is super normal, like eating with soda, but smoking, that brings nothing good. I also feel like it's sort of like this idea of everything's fine in moderation, right? We have painkillers, which you're not supposed to take, like, in any great sense, will harm you. We have sugar, that when you have too much of it will harm you. We have chili, like spicy chili, that when you have too much will harm you. Garlic will harm you if you have too much. Do you see what I mean? Like, there are so many things that we rely on people doing in moderation. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because it's the whole like nanny state, right? Parenting, hand-holding the state versus human autonomy. That's a whole video in itself. No, you can never have too much chili. I feel you, Alba, but there's also some people who do have too much chili. I was confused when people offered me cigarettes as a child. I was like, no, I don't want to die of cancer, thanks. Now I know that peer pressure actually works on people. And the other neurospicy people feel the same. I was definitely... I'm trying to think about how much I want to share online. I definitely felt the peer pressure of cigarettes. Yeah, I'm fine with sharing that online. I had a cigarette once to impress a boy. I remember where I was, and I took his cigarette, and I don't know what I did with it. I was going to say I had a drag. I don't even know what that means fully. I did not enjoy it. And I was like, why the hell do people do this? This is such a terrible idea. It was not the one. I guess what I'm trying to say is anyone can succumb to peer pressure. Teen Shaaba, not just Teen Shaaba, emo Teen Shaaba. She was a hot mess. She was not the Shaaba that you see before you today. I get it. I get why people, especially in certain like cultures and societies, if your family all do something, you know, like wine. I don't drink alcohol, but I know loads of people and families that do, and then the kids just drink alcohol too. It's like, it's just a thing, without even thinking about it. It's like religion. It's hard to rewind steps that you have taken when you are just naturally raised doing a thing, whatever it might have been. I think a drag is a deep inhale of a cigarette. Maybe that's what I tried to do. It was many years ago, so I can't exactly remember. I just remember it tasting foul, and I was like, why the fuck does anybody choose to do this? This is not cool. This is not worth the guy that I want to kiss. And also, I don't want to kiss him right now, because if he tastes anything like the cigarette that he just gave me, that's a big fat no. So, yeah, that was... That was a teenage Shaaba faux pas. Coffee. Too much coffee is bad for you. I love the smell of coffee. I can't taste coffee. I don't like bitter things. On the topic of moderation, drinking too much water can kill you. Oh my goodness. This is so true. I was just talking to my sister yesterday. We were talking about Jumanji. And you know, the old movie. Because he's like, a little bit of water never killed anybody. But a lot definitely does. I've been without cigarettes for like 10 years. I could start again today. Nicotine and heroin have the same heaviest addiction level. If you've been addicted once, you'll never forget how it feels to be a user. It's a door open that can never be closed. Absolutely this, right? And like, we need to remember that addiction is not a choice. Like, it's something that takes immense amount of power and discipline to be able to overcome. And I can't firsthand understand, but I can only imagine how easy it is to be peer pressured, is what I was trying to say with my giant sidetrack side quest. Should we take a look at some comments? What really matters is how it affects other people, which is the main problem with excessive alcohol use and sometimes a problem with smoking because of secondhand smoke. For sure, and definitely when it comes to drink driving. There are laws in place for a reason. Like, reckless driving is a thing for a reason, and we need to be very careful. Like, you do you. At the end of the day, if you're not hurting anyone, but that hurting anyone also includes hurting yourself, but especially if you're hurting other people, you are taking away their autonomy, and nobody deserves or is entitled to the right to do things beyond what other people can do. Sorry, I've got a little, like, notification thing that has popped up. I don't know what it means. Okay, if the chat has done anything odd, let me know. Oh my god, oh my god, I have... Where has it gone? Ah! I've lost my chat, I'm so sorry, give me a hot second. Oh, there we go. No, no. Live chat. There we go. Potassium will also kill you? Not the patooties! Okay, we're back. We're back. Sorry, chat ran away. I pressed a button because there was a big, like, exclamation mark. And I was like, what's happening? And the exclamation mark is still there, but I don't know what it's trying to tell me. So I'm sorry if chat has broken. But everyone's saying chat is still existing. Okay, so we're good. We're fine. Cool. All right. Should we do our little... No, wait. Don't do the clear message first. Let's continue with this. And then we'll do that for our third story. Not the drama. People who drink and drive infuriate me. I wouldn't want to be around them either. The issue is that it might slip out that you aren't actually busy if you don't make yourself busy that day. Not saying that your partner's not trustworthy to keep the real reason secret, but tipsy mouths say shit that could normally be kept secret. So make sure that you have an actual place to be and a good reason for being there. And oh, Peach, Coastal has actually responded and said, fair enough, I might go see if I can visit my parents that day as they live 2 hours away, and maybe just go fishing with my dad, who I otherwise only see 2 weekends a year. That's very sweet if that's what you want to do. Perfect reason for a busy day, hope it works out. And another Peach has said that it's a bit confusing, but if this is Ryan's wedding, definitely not the drama. I'm just confirming this is definitely Ryan's wedding. Ryan is the friend. It's Don's wedding, the best friend, so it's even further removed. If you aren't close to them / actively dislike them, then there's no reason to go. If your partner's brother was getting married, you should probably suck it up and go because it is a family event. And Opie says, yes, my partner's brother's childhood best friend's wedding. Basically the childhood best friend that got emotionally adopted by my parents' parents. Oh, wow. So it's even like your family is linked into that. No, by my partner's parents. Sorry, I misread that. Ignore what I just said. Control Z. When my partner's brother got married, I did indeed suck it up and attend. I stayed till the dance floor opened and then went home early, and my partner stayed the whole time. We just took separate cars. Exactly that. And I love the fact that you have the ability to be like, okay, we don't need to be unhealthily dependent and be with each other all the time. I don't need to make you, partner, stop enjoying yourself when this isn't just really the scene for me, and vice versa. You don't feel a need or pressured to stay so that someone else can have a good time. You are able to do that separately. That's very important, and I think a sign of a really healthy relationship. I love that. And I would also agree that proximity of it being your partner's brother would therefore be really important for you to show up in some way, but because it's their friend, I don't think that it is as important. That's my viewpoint. Yeah, I think, like, the badge is arbitrary. I see your points for the people who are saying, everybody sucks here, with the sense of, like, we don't necessarily need to lie about it. I also see the not the drama. I myself would have done a not the drama. But overall, the biggest takeaway from this is you don't need to be attending something that you don't want to attend. You don't need to be associating yourself with people that you don't want to associate with. And you certainly don't need to be putting yourself in any kind of harm's way. Cool. All right. Should we do a little clear in chat? Oh, I lost myself. Sorry. Can we spam chat with the word clear? And we can have one more Driminy drama. We'll go fishing one more time today. Sound good? Do you know if you eat 40,000 bananas in 10 minutes, you'll die of radiation poisoning? Is that like an actual fact? It would be impossible for somebody to eat 40,000 bananas in 10 minutes. I think even if you squished 40,000 bananas down into a liquid and intravenous and pumped it through you, you would still not be able to eat 40,000 in 10 minutes. That's a lot of bananaing, but that is very interesting. Do you know what else is too bad in moderation? Boba. Bubble tea. Can hurt you. Don't eat all this bananas. Bananas are running out. Yep. There may not be 40,000 bananas for you to eat. You would die, but for other reasons. I didn't know the bananas were a little bit radioactive, though. That's really interesting. Wow. But truly, yeah, like bubble tea is like really bad for you to have in any kind of excess. I think it's like if you have more than, I think having one a day is questionable. But certainly having multiple a day can genuinely cause like really big gastric issues. Is gastric? Yeah, that is a word. Because the level of time it takes for them to break down is long. Science. Yeah, boba tea. We need to be careful with the bubbles. Isn't everything a bit radioactive in general? Hey, Prims. Thanks so much for joining, bud. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your support. All the best. Radioactive bananas remind me of the banana apple that science girl in Zoe 101 made. Oh my god, what a flashback. Wow. Is that the tapioca pearls or any boba tea things? Specifically the tapioca. The tapioca takes a while to break down, so you need to be careful with having too much tapioca pearls, which is the boba in the boba tea. My partner's tummy can only handle small amounts of boba. That might be why. Maybe they have a particularly sensitive digestive tract. In fact, the human body is higher in potassium than bananas. So we're more radioactive than bananas? Oh my god! No, Batman! I did not know that, and I love that fact. Every day is a school day. My grandpa had to stop eating potassium because he had too much potassium in his body when he was older, and the doctor was like, you need to lower your potassium level. But he had a tuna sandwich every day for lunch, which is high in potassium, and he had porridge with a banana every day for breakfast. And he was like, okay, sure, no potassium. And I was like, oh my god, how are you feeling? And he didn't know what the word potassium meant, so he had no idea that that meant he'd have to take away the bananas and the tuna in his diet, and he took such a long time to accept that. My poor grandpa. You get the poppin' boba. I don't know about the poppin' boba, but I'm sure that will be very different because it's not made of tapioca. All right, are you ready for one more fish in? That's so interesting, Helgen. Let's do it. Boop. Oh, I'm on the other side. Boop. There we go. Am I the drama, asks our Peach, for still sharing my opinions on someone I used to be friends with? Interesting. Am I the drama for still sharing my opinions on someone I used to be friends with? This one has intrigued me. O Peach is a 23-year-old woman and says, I am part of a friendship group. Originally, Leo, a 23-year-old MB friend, also used to be part of this friendship group. And about a year ago, Leo started behaving in a way that I was and am unwilling to accept. Okay, I hear you. This behaviour included aggressions towards a multitude of people, ultimatums, oh, I do hate an ultimatum, and other unkind things. Since talking about it with them only led to more escalations, I eventually ended my friendship with them. Our friendship group completely understands and agrees with my judgment on Leo's behaviour. Most of them have distanced themselves from Leo as well. Some of our friends, however, still talk to Leo. They say that they still like Leo, but that they also feel bad for them because they are alone and the situation is very hard on Leo, which is correct, and I appreciate that my friends are willing to support someone who is struggling. Oh, I hear you, but I can also hear that that's really difficult. It's not nice to know that someone will be alone, but I also don't think it's very fair. I love the little fishing rods in chat. I also don't think it's very fair that we, don't get me started on ultimatums, that's true. I also don't think it's very fair to feel an onus to be friends with someone just because without you they wouldn't have any friends. Because if they're not being a kind person, then we need to be careful that we're not enabling someone. is my thinking. Surely having that situation happen would make someone reflect on their actions and behaviour. You would think so. Leo effed around and found out. Fafo for sure. Alright, let's carry on with the post. Some of my friends will talk. Okay, obviously, my friends can hang out with whoever they want to, but it still makes me feel some type of way. And I totally understand and relate and respect that. Your friends can hang out with who they want to, but that doesn't mean that they're also still entitled to your friendship in the exact same way. According to my friends, Peach continues, practically every conversation that they have with Leo ends in Leo talking shit about mostly me. Well, Leo. Do you know what that's giving? It's giving butthurt immaturity. Babiness. That's what it's giving. It's giving someone is mad that you have had the strength to take someone out of your life that isn't good for you, and yet they are making you the main character in their story when they are not even a footnote in yours anymore. This kind of person, I know this person. I know Leo. No, I don't know actually Leo. Don't get it twisted. I don't know who this exact human squishy flesh of a being is. But we all know a Leo, right? My Leo is why I wrote my song Ouija. I find it so funny that these people still have your name in their mouths when they're so dead for you. They're so dead to you that you'd need a Ouija board to communicate with them, was the thought process of the song. I know a guy exactly like this, says Shane. Yeah. I'm sure we all do. Get in the bin, Leo. Get in the bin. Okay. Also, hang on a second though. Leo is a bit of a red flag moment, right? Smother them in ketchup. For sure. Right. That's exactly what I was going to say, Craziest Crayon. But also, the friends. How come they're not shutting that down? Dust off that Ouija board, Peach. Yes. As Bug Lover says, yes. Doesn't sound like Leo has changed anything. This tells you more about your friends that stay with Leo than Leo themselves. I would agree that those friends are suspicious fishies. Okay. Let's carry on. Sometimes my friends do not hang out with Leo, or they keep the hangouts deliberately short so that Leo does not blow up on them. So they don't like it either. It just sounds like your friends maybe don't have the resilience and the strength that you do to put themselves first in the way that you have done. Leo can be very intense and start yelling when they are angry, which leads to people not daring to contradict Leo even when they don't agree with what they have to say. When my friends tell me about it, I sometimes keep my mouth shut, and sometimes I tell them that Leo's behaviour makes me angry, and that I find it foul that Leo keeps bringing up the same things again and again, and that I also find it unfair to my friends. Absolutely. Yes, we can do a suspicious fishy emoji. I'll add it to the list. Suspicious fishy. I'll put it on YouTube for members too. Yeah, that's not okay. And that's not okay on multiple fronts. One, because it's just not a kind thing to do. Two, because this person is... That was a really loud motorbike. I'm sorry if you heard that. This person is so far out of your life. Peach is no longer part of it. Like, how sad. What a sad little life, Jane. What a sad little life. If you know where that is, we can be friends. But how sad that you still have Peach's name in your mouth. Like, truly. This is ridiculous. And thirdly, it's frustrating because this not only affects Leo, this has consequences. What Leo will be saying is going to affect the dynamic of friendship how your other friends who still speak with Leo still interact with you. Even if it's not done on a conscious level, they're going to be like, oh, exhausting. Oh, this is a person that so-and-so doesn't like. And they're going to be like primed in some kind of way, or having to fight being primed in some kind of way, thinking that you are the problem, and that is so unfair on you. I don't understand why your friends are continuing to be friends. Glad that was a motorbike. I thought it was a fly the size of a guinea pig. You heard it then. I'm sorry that was so loud. Yeah, but that's why this is really not okay. For that reason. And I also think that your friends need to be able to... Yes, Silva, we're doing a 1-800-DRAMA pod live today. I also think that it's oh, but just so you know, this isn't an Am I the Drama? This is from 1-800-DRAMA, the podcast's Reddit forum. So this is all coming from these communities who are asking for advice. These peaches. Oh, peaches. Us peaches. I'm sorry, I've lost my bean. I saw your name and it was so gorgeous, Silver Moonlace, and it's not your fault at all. I just lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Yeah, I don't understand why your friends would still continue to be friends with them. And that's what I was saying, if I were going to be friends with somebody like Leo still, I would be putting in that boundary to say, hey, I'm still friends with that person. Yes, no, I did mean it in a good way, Silver. Don't worry, nothing to do with you, entirely me. It was an ADHD side tangent. I would still be friends with you, but I have to make sure that you are not going to shit on one of my other friends, because it's just the right thing to do if you're still speaking with that person. If I were Peach, would be judging the friends who are still speaking with them and not laying that boundary in any way. And if Leo is the kind of person who is making it hard for you to speak to them honestly, it's really sad when that happens. It's a really, really hard situation to navigate, to feel like you're walking on eggshells. The right thing to do is to explain to them when they are not in that position of being angry. And I know it's hard, that you don't feel like you can be honest, and therefore this doesn't feel like a healthy friendship, because a friend is someone who you can be yourself around. A friend is a safe space. A friend is someone who you can share things with, and one of the biggest markers of friendship is communication. So yeah, I don't see a world I'm trying to see if there's a way that I can justify still being friends with that, even if that means that Leo's going to be lonely. Leo needs to learn, because the people around Leo right now are disloyal for the right reasons, yes men. And Leo's not going to grow by having people not calling them out on their bullshit behaviour. That's my viewpoint. Oh, this is a really interesting one. I have no intention, says Peach, of telling my friends who they can and cannot be friends with, because it's not my place. This is true, but you can decide to not be friends with people who are disrespecting you. Yeah, exactly that, Shane. Thank you, Silva. Thank you. You can catch up with the story if you want to. I have no intention to tell my friends that I cannot be friends with. It's not my place. However, I would appreciate some guidance on how to navigate the communication with our mutual friends, as I am often overwhelmed. I also just want to point out one other thing to this Peach. I see that the conversation is like, this is unfair to my friends. This is not okay to my friends. I can't tell other people what they want to do. And Leo made Leo lonely. Very this craziest crayon. Yes, with the one-liners. Leo made Leo lonely. One thing that I wanted to point out to this Peach, is that I'm hearing things that are being justified as bad, and it's true, like none of this is wrong, right? What Peach is saying, but you're trying to justify it in the sense of like, it's bad for them. It's bad for them. It's not nice for them to hear. You are not standing up for yourself enough, and it does not make you a diva or a main character or non-humble in any way to be like, and you know what? I don't deserve people talking shit about me. That's what this post is missing, and I just want Peach to know that they are entitled to say that. I'm seeing this as missing, and I'm saying this on your behalf. Nobody deserves to hear that people are talking shit about them. If those conversations were happening about people who are my friends, I would be shutting that shit down. I would be saying, do not have this conversation with me. Do you not know who I'm friends with? What makes you think that this is the right thing to say? And it does get a little bit tricky. We talk about these fences, Jamie and I, right? We've got like our fence around who we don't want to speak with anymore. And then you have other beings who you do speak with inside that fence. But what do you do when one of your friends has a connection with someone outside the fence? There's like a break in your fence there, right? What do? There is only one right answer when this happens. I'm going to draw it on a post-it note because it really helped me. My brain was not being able to understand it. If this is your friends, right? This is you. I'm going to put a little star. Hang on. Let me make this bigger. No, we're going to go like this here. Can you see this here? You're like in the middle of a box is literally just a circle with a star at the moment. If this is you, right, and you draw this fence around you, and there's an arsehole, I'm going to draw a little poop, and the poop is here. We'll draw 2 poops. Why not? There are 2 arseholes, there you go, outside of your fence. Can you see this? And then you have loved ones inside your fence here. If your loved one here has a connection with a poop, this is what I was not understanding before. I really wish that would hurry up and focus. Maybe I need to put it over my face. There you go. If your loved one there has a connection with a poop, where does your fence, the boundary, need to go? Because in my brain, I was doing this and being like, oh, well, the poop now, without my control, has to be inside my fence. Can you see my little dashed line? But that is not the case. Somebody very close to me and very clever said to me that the way that this needs to be enforced is here. Your new fence exists like this around this connection. Right there. And initially, I, with my very literal brain and thinking, went, well, you know what that means? Now the poop will not go in the fence. It's a problem. You can't like extend the fence to accommodate the poop. The poop needs to stay outside for sure. But the problem there, when I saw that, I was like, but I don't feel like I want to cut that person out. Why should I cut the heart out? Because the heart is with the poop. That doesn't seem fair. And you don't need to cut them out, but you need to cut the link out. That's the difference. That was like such a big like mind-blowing moment for me. I was like, oh my god, yeah. And that is the right thing to do. Your heart, friend, might be thinking that it's a kind thing to do to let you know when the poop is talking smack about you or coming to you in some way. However, if you let that heart talk to you in that way, you are accommodating the poop in your fence. The way that you put the poop in a bottle, you scoop the poop, you leave the poop outside of that fence, is you cut off all of those communications of the heart with the poop to you. So the heart can speak to the poop, and if the poop speaks to the heart, the problem is when the heart relays that to you. Does that make sense? I said that in the weirdest, wackiest, most like unhinged way possible. But the issue there is the friends for bringing that poop into your fence. You get shit on your shoe, you keep that out my front door. That's the metaphor, right? That was such a hard lesson for me to understand, and I don't know why. And my life is so much clearer and less dramatic. And my contingency brain was like, this is a problem because poop do be spreading. Poop be out there. Poop be pooping on the outside of the fence. But don't bring poop into your friend's house. That is what we're trying to say, Huggin. That is the lesson here. Your hearts need to respect your boundaries and leave the poop out the fence. Exactly that. And we need to communicate with the heart sometimes, for sure. Shaaba is compensating for Jamie's absence with the bad metaphors. Yeah. But the poop will still be pooping, and my concern is like, oh my god, but I don't know. My heart is my intel. Knowledge is power, right? Like, I want to be aware of the poop troop. Stop it. I want to be able to hear this, right? I want to be able to be prepared for what the poop is saying. But as long as the poop is outside of the fence, right? Why does it matter what is being said? That's putting too much worth and value in other people's opinions of you above your truth. This is what I'm still having to learn now. This is like my progression moment. I'm dishing out the advice that I'm struggling to fully onboard myself. But it's true. It truly is. That is the case. If that poop spreader is going to be spreading poop, they're going to do it whether they're telling heart or not. And you knowing about it, all that does is stain your mouth with the poop. It doesn't stop them from spreading the poop outside of the fence. It just makes you taste it. And you do not deserve... I love them. Bug lover, I love them. You do not deserve to taste poop. Thank you for coming to my terrible metaphor TED Talk. And it is truly like, I know we're laughing about it, but it is a really big lesson to learn, and it's really hard to do. When you know that people are talking about you, you need to just be able to be like, I don't need to hear that. I don't. I don't. There are so many forums, I don't want to bring light to them, that talk shit about creators. And I know that there are entire forums on the internet dedicated to talking crap about me and my loved ones. Not just my loved ones as in my family, but other creators that I love, right? And I'm like, I don't care. I have zero want to know what they have to say. Knowing that information does not help me in any way. Scatology. Yes. Scatology. I love that, Alva. We just need to be strong enough to keep the poop on the right side of the fence, which is the side that you are not on. Boom. Are you also live on YouTube? Yes, Moonlace, we are right now. Hence why I'm, yeah, you might be seeing I'm responding to chats that you're not seeing, but multi-streaming right now. Oh, that was really cathartic to talk about. Talking crap. Literally. Talking crap. TEDx Lax talk. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Sharing the credit with Ezra Sprouts. Love that. Yes, thank you, Ezra. And thank you, Alba, for also bringing it to my attention. Scandology. Boom. If I wanted shit in my life, says Craziest Crayon, I'd befriend a toilet. God, don't you find it so empowering? Like, hearing you guys say this, I hope that you also being in the vicinity of the peaches, it's not even me. Like, I find these comments, these brain tools, these, what's what I'm saying? I guess it's validation, right? These validating comments, so inspiring to remember to put myself first, to remember self-care, to prioritize self-care. It's super fun. And I don't normally get this because I don't see your comments live. So this is really, really fun. Thank you for being here. Sadly, it's inevitable to avoid negative comments when you're a public figure. It always happens, even if you aren't public. The internet intensifies extreme opinions, especially, yeah, definitely, and especially with like people who think that they know everything because they like see 1 hour of your week, which can be really difficult to navigate. But even if you're not a creator, everybody goes through this. Absolutely everybody goes through this. And tough love, which is true, because I have some friends who definitely dish out the tough love a lot, in a wonderful way, would say, well, you know what? You are putting that on yourself. If you are inviting these conversations, if you are entertaining these conversations, the second that someone says to you, someone said something about you, you know, that person that you know, they've been speaking shit about you, and I felt like maybe I should tell you I'm feeling so conflicted. It's awkward for me to say this story right now. The right thing to do in that moment is to be like, don't. Thank you for letting me know that this is someone that I need to be aware of. I don't need to taste that shit. You keep it over there. You quickly grab your little Super Mario hat. That's hilarious. I swear I didn't prepare this. It just happened to be on the chair next to me. And you build that wall. I'm going to take this off though because this looks really dumb. I don't know why that was just sitting there on my desk chair. I don't know what Jamie's been up to with his little Mario hat, but there you go. Should we take a look at some comments? Wait. Have we done a badge for this one yet? I don't know if we've done badges. Can we do some badges? What is the question? Am I the drama for still sharing my opinions on someone I used to be friends with? Right, so you're saying, am I the drama for sharing my opinions on Leo? Interesting. This one's a bit of a hard one for me. Because obviously I don't think that OP is the drama, but would you be the drama for sharing things on Leo? I wonder if you would be the drama for yourself to entertain and have these conversations. I think it would probably, like, again, the advice is more important than the badge here, right? It needs to be, don't speak to me about Leo and what Leo is going through. I'm building this fence, and if you don't want to be on the right side of this fence, I don't want to hear it at all. Undeserved drama. Yeah, that's probably the right badge for this situation. Yeah, I was thinking definitely a moldy brownie badge for Leo. I was a poop free badge. I was definitely thinking we need like a no, sorry, not we need. I was definitely thinking maybe this would be a no drama hit badge, obviously apart from Leo, but I do think your friends are being the drama. And we love a boundary. It's important to have a boundary. And you're so right, though. I also think like brownie badge for Peach here too, because what is not okay is for you to say you're not allowed to be friends with Leo, because we can't tell people what to do. That's where it becomes an ultimatum. You can't say, well, you can be friends with Leo or you can be friends with me. Poopy brownie badge. We're changing that for today to a poopy brownie. For sure, for Leo. But what you can do is say, I don't like this shit. I'm not going to involve myself in this. And so if you want to continue being friends with someone who is not going to be kind to me, then this is not a situation that I can put myself in, and I'm going to distance myself from you. It's not asking them to make a decision on your behalf. It's you making a decision about yourself to remove yourself from that situation. I think undeserved drama is the badge here. That I would give, because obviously it would be a bit of the drama, right, for talking shit about someone else, but they're talking shit about you, so yeah. And also not the drama. I see both. And is that a petty queen? No, not at all. I don't think it's petty in this situation. I think that's you defending yourself.
Curse you, Anna.
Curse you, Leo. Very much, Keel. Very much curse you, Anna. But yeah, I do think it would be wrong to call you petty in this situation. There are situations like this one where it's important for you to set your boundaries and say what you want, and even if that means not inviting drama to your door, but talking up. Speaking up does not mean that you are in the wrong, does not make you a diva when what you're doing is shutting shit down. Yeah, that's my viewpoint. All right, shall we see some comments? Not the drama. Leo seems like, how do I put this nicely, says a peach. A not so friendly walnut. That's so kind compared to what we've been doing, where we've just been like, shit, smelly shit, outside the door, build the fence. And this gorgeous peach is like, a not so friendly walnut. They clearly don't like you for some reason, but it seems like you respect them nonetheless. I think the reason that they don't like you is because you had the balls to say, I'm not going to deal with that shit. And that's fantastic of you. And that's too bad to Leo. Too bad. You little immature baby. You're completely valid to feel a bit uneasy when your friends hang out with Leo, especially since they seem so hostile to you in the past and seemingly now as well. It seems like Leo is someone that people are afraid of, which isn't okay. Exactly. How can they have any friends? Like, no one should be friends with them if what they're doing is making friends through fear. That's not friends. That's terrified followers. No, who wants that? Not even Leo wants that. But what's so sad is that Leo's also not being confronted with the consequences of his actions to be like, this is a problem. Unfriendly walnut badge. I'll definitely have a think. I'll add it to the list with a question mark. I don't know how I would show a walnut. Unfriendly walnut question mark. There we go. Yeah, especially since they seem so hostile to you in the past and seemingly now as well. It seems like Leo is someone that people are afraid of, which isn't okay. It's something that they need to work on either by themselves or in therapy, but either way they need a huge reality check, and that's what our friends are for. That's why it's important to not have yes men. If I was being a dick in real life, I'd want people to tell me that I was being a dick in real life, because I would rather that than just being a dick, and then people talking smack about me behind my back. They cannot be acting like this as an adult. As someone who's been in the middle of this before, basically I was in your friend's shoes. What my friend did was ask me if I really wanted to be friends with the Leo in my situation. So that is what I suggest to you. Say it in a way that doesn't seem like you're trying to break the friendship between them. Like, when you guys hang out with Leo, do you really enjoy it? Or something like that. This helped me realize that my Leo was not a great friend to have around and was better off not having them in my life. It might be different for your friends though, if they still want to keep that friendship with Leo. Honestly, I see where you are coming from, Peach, and this is like done with such good intentions. I can also see a problem with that. In the fact that it's coming from you. I think when we say things, people can hear what we say, and then they can also take what we say, bye Faye, thanks for joining, with a different viewpoint. They can hear other things, right? Things like from our bias. So I think if one of the other friends who was also friends with Leo said that, it would actually be more powerful than coming from you, because coming from you, they'll be like, I know that you don't like Leo, and that is why you are saying what you are saying. They won't see the objectivity for what it is, and that is a problem. It's not your problem, but I do think it's something that I would be aware of and question, am I the right person to be delivering this message right now? Will they hear it from me? I'm not saying it's wrong for you to say something. I'm not saying it's wrong for you to not say something. I'm just saying it's something to consider, and only you know your other friends well enough to know whether that's something that you should broach. All in all, says this peach, I would recommend you sharing your feelings about the situation with your friends, because who knows, they might be struggling to get out that friendship with Leo, which is why they don't contradict them. Maybe talking to them about how you feel about it could spark a conversation about what to do next. But OP, remember that none of this is your fault. Whatever the outcome, I hope it's beneficial for you and your friends. Sorry if it's not helpful. Hopefully other peaches will help you, though. Best of luck. This was super helpful, Peach. And OP's responded, this is actually super helpful. Thanks so much for your kind words and encouragement. It's always helpful to hear from someone who has been in that situation as well, and learn from best practice, right? Not the drama. Firstly, yelling at people is not acceptable. It can be understandable in certain situations, but not when it's repeating the point of being afraid of someone like your friends seem to be of Leo. If that continues for a long time, it's likely that you won't have mutual friends left for them to rant to. Still, people often cling to friendships with people out of fear, and that's not your problem to solve. That being said, you shouldn't feel the need to censor yourself around your friends. Yes, if we're walking around eggshells, are they really friends? This is a real important question that we should judge all of our friendships by. As long as you are speaking truthful statements about your feelings and his actions and not making generalizations about him as a person, you're well within your rights to speak. Yeah, I like this too. I'm just skipping down to the bottom paragraph there. It says, the best practical advice I can give is to keep an even tone when talking about it, even if you're upset, and be succinct with your phrasing. It tends to help you come off as upset but collected, and those who care about respectability politics respond well to that. Yeah, I guess this peach is already forethinking what I was saying of this whole, like, will your friends be able to sort of trust where it's coming from? Maybe your delivery can be more professional and sort of cold and less personal, and that would help, and I see that. But I also wonder if maybe there's other people that you can speak to who can then deliver the message where it's not coming from you. And I don't mean like you need to tell someone else to tell your friends to not be friends with Leo, but saying it to one friend that you're close with and saying, look, I'm so concerned that if I explain this to the friendship group, they're just going to think it's because I'm not friends with Leo, and that's not where it's coming from. I'm genuinely concerned for you guys that this friendship is not okay. It's no skin off my nose as to whether you are friends with them, but these friendships are just unhealthy regardless of whether I'm involved. TLDR, as long as you're honest about how you feel and talk about actions over character traits, that you're good. Good luck. And OP said, I appreciate it, I will talk to my friends. Not the drama. Honestly feel really bad for you that Leo seems to not the best person to be around, and if they keep talking crap about you to people they know, they will see you, they know will see you, sorry. They could be doing this deliberately knowing that you would be told. Also, yes, that is such a good point. And actually a really common tactic that people with narcissistic traits in particular do like to shove in your face. They will use other people around you as pawns because they're mad that they can't hurt you directly anymore because you moved yourself from that situation, but they might still be trying to get to you through these other people. And it would make a lot of sense since you seem to still be main topic on their friend agendas when you're not even around. So that is actually an incredibly good point that is worth really underlining. Yeah. Also, you said that some people in your friend group have also cut them off. I don't know if that means that Leo has also been toxic to them, and if they have been, then I question why some of your other friends still talk to Leo. Even just for yourself, babe. If Leo has been toxic to more people, and not just you, that's a red flag in a friend. If my friends still talk to someone that they know has been toxic to a couple of other friends, I'd question why even after an ex-friend has talked bad about me on many separate occasions, they still remained close with that toxic person. Yeah, it can also be really hard. AKA flying monkeys. Yes, do not affiliate with flying monkeys, but it's hard. It's hard, isn't it, when the flying monkeys were your friends before they were flying monkeys. Not the drama, says another Peach. If I was feeling very ungenerous, I would suggest your friend stop making up for Leo's deficiencies as a friend and let them be alone. My friend and I, a few years ago, came to the realization that it's not our responsibility to ensure someone who refuses to be a good friend has friends. Very this. And Toxic says, funny, the irony. Toxic Psycho says, plus narcissists will use an isolation tactic like triangulation. I don't think I fully know what that is, but I would love to know more. So a reminder to look into that if that is something that interests you. Do not let the flying monkeys shit upon you from above, says Bug Lover. Very this. Yeah. It's definitely worth looking into the flying monkeys. Psychology and therapy. It is very useful. Is very useful. I may be petty, but I would just let my friends suffer. I got out of the Leo train if they don't want to listen to me. Sad day for them. And judging on the description sounds like I live rent-free in Leo's head. Exactly that, fan. I don't judge you at all. Like, be petty. If that's what being petty is, then I'm petty. I would not appreciate... I think it's because somebody else said this really well in a comment once on a video that I was getting so, like, a lot of hate for. But essentially, they were saying that I hold myself to quite high standards, and often when you do that, you hold other people to the same standards that you hold yourself. So if you have high standards, my gorgeous Stardust, thank you for your gorgeous support and for your sub, bless you. Ba-boom. If you hold yourself to high standards, you will hold other people to high standards too. The reason why I think it's really shit that your friends would do that is because I would feel shit being friends with someone who was talking shit about one of my friends. I wouldn't be a good person. I wouldn't consider myself a good person if I was doing that. So I wouldn't want my friends to be doing that either. And if that is the standard that you want to hold yourself to, it's fair that you would hold your friends to the same standard. And if they don't meet that standard, then don't feel like you need to be friends with them anymore. It doesn't feel nice, though, I know, to like have to cut your friends off. And I'm not saying that that's what you need to do. It's up to you as to how much this is affecting you. But this living rent-free in someone's head, I don't know, in some ways also validation. For me personally, I'm like, wow, this is not a me problem. The fact that you can't let this go just shows how much of a pain, how brightly I am shining. Let it hurt you. Let my sun rays kill you with kindness. I don't need to do anything. I just need to live my best life. And if me glowing means that I look extra sparkly and continue to grab your attention, that's your problem, babe. That's not on me. Sorry if that sounded sassy, but it's true. I wish I had a little teacup right now, because that is the tea that I like to bask in. Flying monkeys, sorry, I was just reading a bookbinder's message. Flying monkeys are manipulated by a narcissist or toxic individual to do their dirty work, acting like spies, spreading rumors, or confronting their target of the abuse on the narcissist's behalf because they can't do it themselves. Why are you so obsessed with me? Exactly that. Sass is goof. Sass is good. Sass is also goof. Triangulation is basically, Toxic Psycho explains, when someone will bring extra people, a third party, into a situation. Guess your line becomes a triangle. Yep. There we go. Okay. Into a situation instead of communicating directly to divide people. They will typically do that in order to isolate someone more vulnerable. Super interesting. Yeah, I see that. And I see this. No, but that was a good typo, MV. Goof as well. I see this, and I guess it can work on both sides. There's the point that Leo is doing triangulation. Is this something that you do? Is triangulating friends. At the same time, I also understand Peach's hesitation to triangulate themselves, like to enact triangulation themselves, in the sense of then feeling like they are enlisting their friends as flying monkeys to then talk shit about Leo, when what they're concerned about and what they're frustrated about is Leo talking shit about them. Very that, human being, very that. But I do think that when somebody else is doing this to you, you retaliating, not stooping down to their level, because it's different, right? You acknowledging it, you setting boundaries to stop that from causing further harm is not stooping down to their level. It's a different thing entirely. That wouldn't be peach triangulating, in my opinion. I would view that as you standing up for yourself, and you not doing that in fear that, oh, what would other people think of me, could potentially end up with them causing you to beat yourself down further. Like, that could be more of the same manipulation tactic of not allowing you to speak up for yourself, and that does nobody favors. Protecting yourself is never a bad thing. Exactly that, Shane. Aww, that was our last drama. This was really fun. I feel like I've learned. I feel like I've grown. I feel like I feel closer to this community as well. And I feel like I've had a really unique, fun little moment by being able to do this with you. I was so nervous about it, and I don't know why, because this has been great. Do you think we should do more lives going forward? Thanks so much, Bug Lover. Bye, my love. Friendships shouldn't be geometry. Is a heart geometry? Muffin Puffin, what a gorgeous name. Oh my gosh, Albert, I found you the other day. I've been watching your videos in order since. Oh, bless. What happened to Jamie? He's still here. He's around. He's probably basking by a fan with a book. I've lost Jamie to the world of books in the best way. I love that he's reignited his passion for reading. Jamie, just so you know, has started up a second channel. It's called Jamie Reigns. It's amazing. It's where he goes to talk about things that are less activist and less political in terms of LGBT plus activism, and more about his passions, which is creativity and books and fashion and just things that he loves. And I love that channel, and I love the content, and I love how happy it's making him. So because he started up a new channel, it's a lot of work to do that. So basically he's doing less of live stuff, specifically on Twitch. So if you want to support the other endeavors, of course we have a podcast. He's still here every other week doing the podcasty bits with me, but I do the gaming stuff, and you can definitely come and see us here on stream, where we talk about non-drama things and just play games in a really goofy way. And you can also go and support Jamie over at the Jamie Range channel. I would totally recommend it. He's amazing. Of course I would say that. I'm biased, but he's also amazing. I understand, but I wish we could go longer. Yeah, I know. That's why I said to myself, I have to stop at 3, because otherwise I'd end up doing this all evening. Sometimes we do stream for way longer than I probably should. And the gaming channel is amazing too. Thank you, Kale. Yes, if you want to follow gaming endeavors and support, it's at Shaaba Games Badly over at YouTube. I'm trying really hard to get to 10,000 subscribers. She's a little baby channel, and I love her a lot, and we're putting a lot of effort into growing her. And I've missed an upload this week. I'm sorry. I just finished a game called Strange Antiquities. I have so many more games that I want to play. Got my little pile here that we're doing as well. And I will be doing more. We've been away, so yeah, we're just sort of catching up with the backlog. Sass and good. Goof and good. MV right there. Having to go also, Hannah, I'm also going to pop off now. Thank you so much, though, honestly, for joining me. This has been so much fun. Shane, yes, and don't worry, we're doing too much. We've got fingers in a lot of pies. We're also still making our game. I've got First Light here, which is PlayStation 5 release that's just come out. I know this is like really big news. This is basically the origin story of James Bond, which I'm really excited to play. It's also out on Nintendo Switch 2, I think. We've got Pocopia, which I still haven't started yet, but we do have the stream 2 now. We've subscribed to the Switch 2 with Raylo, so I'm really excited to try this one out. We've got Yoshi, the Mysterious Book, which I have started, and we've got one VOD out with Jamie, but it's really, really fun, and we've got more of that to show you. And we're like halfway through, I believe, maybe 2/3 of the way through Resident Evil Requiem. This is the first Resident Evil that we're fully playing through. So yeah, it's good fun. It's terrifying, but good fun. I play scary games with Jamie, and I play cozy games and puzzle games myself. So come join us for all of that if you want, over at Twitch and also at YouTube. Well, thank you so much for joining me here. Enjoy the rest of your time zone, whatever it is that you're up to. Please make sure that you're looking after yourself in all of this heat. I know, such a range of games, from horror to like super cozy. And I will curse you, Anna, Ethan. I will see you guys very soon. If you haven't already, do consider giving the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more, follow us at all the various places, but most importantly, do just look after yourself and make sure you stay hydrated, and I'll see you soon. Hugs and love, and I'll see you soon.